Thank you. Ìwọ ni ògo adúláwọ̀. Àwa ni ògo adúláwọ̀ nílẹ̀ Yorùbá. Then I'll also ask Barrister Ogedengbe for the montage. Thing to do. That's the next thing on the program. Thank you.
Bá a bímọ nílé olówó oyè ó lè ṣèṣe olówó bá a bímọ nílé ọlọ́rọ̀ oyè ó lè rìnrìn ọlọ́lá kó rìnyẹn fanda rìnrìn ọlọ́rọ̀ ọmọ tá a bá bí ńlẹ̀ Yorùbá yẹ kó mọ tì fún tẹ̀dọ̀ ohun àṣà àtìṣe ilẹ̀ Yorùbá dẹ́kùndélẹ̀ tó fi mọ́ ìtàn ohun orísun ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àtàwọn bíi tó ṣe é mú yẹn gan tó dùn ún wò nílẹ̀ Yorùbá ẹ wo Ẹ̀rìn Ìjẹ̀ṣà waterfall kẹ́ẹ̀tún wò Kọ́gùsì níbi tómi gbóná àti tútù ti pàdé Ìdẹ̀rẹ̀ hill nínú Odò ń kọ́ àtòkè Olúmọ lẹ́gbàá Aláké nání ohun anílà nání ìdí ẹ̀ gan nìyí tí Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate fi gbé ètò kan ràbàǹdè kalẹ̀ ní gbogbo ọjọ́ àbámẹ́ta ọjọ́ sátidé fún gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá láti kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ mẹ́kọ̀ọ́ kọ́gbọ́n mọ́gbọ́n nípa àṣà ìṣe ìtàn ìṣẹ̀dálẹ̀ àti òkodoro ọ̀rọ̀ nípa Yorùbá tó fi mọ́ ohun tó rọ̀ mọ́ ìjàngbara fún orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá ẹ ṣáà mọ̀ pé bí olóde ò bá kú ojúdere ò ní wu koríko àìsí níbẹ̀ sì láì bá wọn dá sí wọ́n pín kò kàn mí onítọ̀hún ò yọjú síbẹ̀ ní. darapọ̀ lórí ìkànnì YouTube ní gbogbo ọjọ́ sátidé ní dédé aago 3 ọ̀sán Nàìjíríà tàbí kó o darapọ̀ lórí Zoom fi àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ mo fẹ́ darapọ̀ ránṣẹ́ sórí ìkànnì ímeèlì yìí yorubaнаtionglobal.d@gmail.com ìkànnì Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate lẹ́yìn tí rí wò lórí YouTube oríṣiríṣi àlejò tó jẹ́ ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n tó nímọ̀ tó tó gbangba sùn lọ́yẹ́ ńlẹ́ wọn bá pàdé lọ́sọ̀ọ̀sẹ̀ fún ìdánilẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ohun ọ̀rọ̀ ìyànjú àti ọ̀rọ̀ nípa ìlọsíwájú àti akitiyan.
Hello. Right. Thank you for that. The next program is the news update by Arabini Bola Marquis. Hello. Well, if Bola Marquis is not in the house, I will take the initiative to read out the news update. And thank you for the privilege. And I shall begin. About 200 people were reported to have been killed on Christmas Eve in Plateau State in about 21 Christian villages by suspected Fulani militants. The report suggests that the number is expected to rise and continue to search for missing persons. The attack was reported to have lasted about 7 hours with no Nigerian security operative in sight to repel the attackers. The attack was said to have displaced over 100 people, with many taking refuge in churches and other places. The women in Plateau State were reported to have burnt down the traditional rulers in anger because of members of their families who were alleged to have been involved in the recent attack that were arrested. Yoruba will say, "Ikú tí ó pa ni ikú tó pa ni ojúgbà ẹni, òwe ló ń pa fún ara." We plead with the citizens of the Yoruba nation to be on a high state of alert due to the Fulani terrorist activities that are still ongoing across the nation of Nigeria. These are our current news report. Thank you. Over to you, Barrister Ogedengbe.
Thank you, Eshegon.
You.
I think it's actually over to you. It remains with you.
Okay, Akoli.
Okay, that
video.
That one I will play now. Thank you.
Okay.
A kò lè gbàgbé. Pípa àwọn ènìyàn wa láti ọwọ́ àwọn Fúlàní. A kò lè gbàgbé. A kò lè gbàgbé ìfi Fúlàní Sẹ́ríkì joyè ní ìgbèríko wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ọgbọ́n àlùmọ̀kọ́rọ́ yìí láti gba ilẹ̀ ayébáyé wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìmọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní láti múni sìn títí ayé láti sọ wá di ará nílùú bàbá wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìmọ̀pọ̀ Fúlàní láti sọ àwọn obìnrin wa di àkísà orí àtìtàn nílùú wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìsọ Fúlàní di òmìrán tí ẹnikẹ́ni kò lè fọwọ́ kàn lábẹ́ òfin pẹ̀lú ìwà ọ̀bàyéjẹ́ tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìwọlé bánijà lóru ọ̀gànjọ́. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìgbìyànjú Fúlàní láti sọ ìlú wa di tiwọn àti láti gba ilẹ̀ ìbí wa pẹ̀lú àwọn ẹbí wọn láti orílẹ̀-èdè adúláwọ̀ Áfíríkà láti jẹ́ kí wọ́n lè máa gbé igbá orókè nínú ètò ìdìbò. A kò lè gbàgbé. Èròǹgbà àwọn Fúlàní láti fi owó ṣe ẹ̀tọ́ jẹ fún àwọn ènìyàn wa láti gbàgbé ìpolongo fún àdádúró àwọn Yorùbá. A kò lè gbàgbé. Ìfimọ̀ṣe ọ̀kan àwọn Yorùbá láti ní orílẹ̀-èdè tiwa fún ìrandíran àwọn ọmọ wa. A kò lè gbàgbé. Àtìmọ́lé àwọn ènìyàn wa, àìbìkítà ìjọba Fúlàní fún pípa àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ní orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá. A kò lè gbàgbé. A kò ní gbàgbé. Ìpínlẹ̀ Yorùbá di ṣíṣe, ìwẹ̀yìnwò kò sí rárá. Yorùbá ẹ jí ẹ má sùn o, Oòduà gbè wá o, kò ní gbé àwọn ọ̀dàlẹ̀ á bálẹ̀ lọ. Ìkéde láti ẹnu Yorùbá Nation Global Directorate.
Thank you very much, Barrister, for that segment of the program. Appeal for fund by Apostle Raphael Adbayo. If he's not in the house, I think I have the privilege to do it. Mo fẹ́ rọ̀ wá pé kẹ́ jọ̀wọ́ kẹ́ máa ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o, because I need ìrànlọ́wọ́ yín. Àwa ò kí ń kówó jẹ ń bí, but kò sí bá ṣe fẹ́ ṣe tí ẹ bá ràn wá lọ́wọ́, a lè máa ṣe gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe fún ilẹ̀ Yorùbá. Bó jẹ́ $1 ni, bó jẹ́ £1 ni, bó jẹ́ kìíní ni, iye tẹ bá fi sí account gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa rí. A dẹ̀ gbé sórí àwòrán, a gbé sórí ìkéde ní orí directorate bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa fún wa ní owó. Ìrànlọ́wọ́ yín ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó ṣe pàtàkì fún ìdàgbàsókè wa o, àti fún láti máa ṣe nǹkan tá à ń ṣe fún kíní program tá à ń ṣe yìí. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tẹ́ ti ṣe sẹ́yìn. Ẹ dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá à ń rà tá a fi ń ran àwọn èèyàn wa lọ́wọ́ ní ìgbèríko Yorùbá tí a bá ṣe mọ́ kò bójúmu. So a dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín fún ìtẹ́ ti ṣe sẹ́yìn. A dẹ̀ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. A mọ̀ pé bí nǹkan ṣe rí ní gbogbo ìlú all over the world ní gbogbo àgbáyé ni ó fà á tí gbogbo nǹkan ṣe fà sẹ́yìn. But ẹ má gbàgbé láti ràn wá lọ́wọ́ o. Oòduà gbè wá, kò ní gbé ọ̀dàlẹ̀ o. A máa gbé ní owó wa sí orí ibi bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa fún wa ní owó. A máa gbé sórí kíní tó bá dẹ̀ di by middle of January, gbogbo àwọn owó tẹ́ ti dá gbogbo ẹ̀ ni a máa fi ṣọwọ́ bá ṣe ń ná àti iye tá a ní ní account by the end of December. Gbogbo ẹ̀ la máa send sí yín. Ẹ ṣé púpọ̀. Over to you, Barrister.
I think Princess is next.
Okay, directors, directorate director, our mother of the house.
Ẹ ṣé God.
Yeah.
Ẹ káàárọ̀, ẹ káàsán, ẹ káalẹ́ ní gbogbo tí a gbé wà lénìí. Mo fẹ́ dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yin bàbá mi, ẹ̀yin ìyá mi, ẹ̀yin ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, àbúrò mi fún gbogbo àtìlẹ́yìn yín fún wa ní ọdún tó lọ, which is 2023. A tún ti wà ní 2024 now. A dẹ̀ tún bẹ̀ yín, à ń rọ̀ yín pé ẹ má jẹ́ kí ojú tì wá. Bí ẹ ṣe ń fi owó ránṣẹ́ sí wa, bẹ́ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ṣe ń support wa in one way or the other. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín. A dẹ̀ gbàdúrà wípé pé ọ̀pọ̀ ni Olúwa á fi rọ́pò fún gbogbo owó tẹ́ ti ná fún wa, àti fún ìdìde yín àti fún support tí ẹ̀ ń ṣe fún wa. A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ yín, and over to you. Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Mr. Kolade, over to you.
Mr. Kolade, please, over to you. Unmute yourself.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you, Princess. Eshegoma. Introduction of the panelists by Barisa Ogedengbe.
It's by you, sir.
Yeah.
But if you want me to do that, I can do that. That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Eshegoma, Eku Wajulen Kosio. Pé ojú wa orí ọdún yìí láyọ̀ àti àlàáfíà lágbára Elédùmarè, ayọ̀ tá a fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú dùnnú òun náà la máa fi parí ọdún yìí o. Ìgbésẹ̀ wa kò ní bí aráyé nínú, àdẹ̀ní lu ìgbàdo ayé. Iwájú báyìí lálákì ń sọ, iwájú lọ̀pọ̀ ibi tí ń rí sí. Ọ̀pọ̀ ibi tí wa individually and collectively iwájú ló máa lọ. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá kò ní di ilẹ̀ ìgbàgbé o. Thank you very much. And now to the assignment. We have a privilege that our highly esteemed, honorable panelists are here with us again. Eshegon, Amari Imbao, Emabe, Obe, Olombe issue. Orí ọ̀fẹ́ ló jẹ́ fún mi láti fi àṣehàn màmá wa. Tí a rẹ̀ pé ọdún tó kọjá la rí wọn gbẹ̀yìn, so a tún ti rí wọn lọ́dún yìí báyìí. Wọ́n ti ní ọdọọdún làárọ̀ rógbó, ọdọọdún ní àárí Haúsá. Adúpẹ́ o. Màmá wa Sandra Popola Obi, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ tan kámẹ́rà yín. Ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn tó fẹ́ gba increase torí wọ́n ní ọbẹ̀ ọ̀dà yìí pé nǹkan ọbẹ̀ tí wọ́n. So Sister Emisi was complaining to me before we came on here. Wípé àwọn ọkọ àwọn fún àwọn ní nǹkan. Mo ní nílẹ̀ Yorùbá kì í ṣe ọkùnrin kọ́kọ́ ló máa ń jẹ́ ọkọ. Obìnrin náà máa ń jẹ́ ọkọ. So mo ní ti Dr. Oyefúlẹ̀ bóyá delay wà ní transaction wọn ni o. Àbí bódẹ̀ jẹ́ ti Barrister Odùmọ̀ṣù ní tètè dé. Mo ní ẹ lè béèrè lọ́wọ́ ọkọ yín kan náà tó jẹ́ obìnrin. So mo mọ̀ pé lẹ́yìn ètò ẹ mọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe máa sort wọn out. Dr. Oyefúlẹ̀, God bless you, sir.
Thank you, my brother. Just to set the record straight.
Yes, sir.
Ìyálòde ti rí owó wọn gbà o.
Okay.
Owó gọbọi báyìí ni gọbọi ó tóbi gan.
That's very good. Bóyá wọn sọ fún mi kí n má bàa gba interest.
No, ẹ̀yin àtẹ bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ ni mo rí àkáǹtì
Ẹ ti rí àkáǹtì. Okay.
And ṣé mo lè add kún?
Of course, ẹ mọ̀ pé ìyàwó yẹn kò gbé owó kékeré náà. Àwọn owó ńláńlá ni wọ́n ti fún mi ńlá kà máa tún gbà lọ́wọ́ yín. Màá gbà lọ́wọ́ mọ́mì wa Ambassador Lija. Gbogbo yín lẹ máa sanwó pátápátá. Otherwise, ọlọ́pàá kó everybody.
Owó nìkan kọ́ la fi ránṣẹ́. Dr. Oyefúlẹ̀, ẹ gbàgbé pé a tún fi ọkọ ránṣẹ́.
Ẹ máa ṣe é.
Kán lọ sí oko. Owó nìkan kọ́.
Tó bá ti torí tí bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ti wà lẹ́nu.
Kì í ṣe ọkọ o, bẹ́ẹ̀ ọkọ lẹ fi ránṣẹ́. I like that.
Thank you very much.
Ẹ rò pé inú oko lẹ ti mú mi wá ni. No.
Ẹ ṣe gan-an. And ìkan nínú akíkanjú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó jẹ́ pé all together Yoruba history will remember very well. 100 years after we've all departed from this what do you call it? Planet. long after we're gone, they will remember him for being olóòótọ́. Ẹni tó dẹ̀ ní ìfẹ́ ìlú gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo apápátá tá a wà níbí. Kí ìmísí Ọlọ́run kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kó máa continue láti bá gbogbo wa gbé. Ká má fòyà, ká má ṣojo, ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ tí èèyàn fi ń ṣe nǹkan kí Ọlọ́run kó máa fún wa. Oore ọ̀fẹ́ ni láti introduce our brother Samson Adémoyè. Mi ò ní pè wọ́n ní bàbá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn torí bàbá àmọ̀bí tí bàbá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wà.
Aka aka
Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn exactly. So ká má pè Olúwa ṣeun. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ní ẹ̀ka àsán yẹn, mo mọ̀ pé ẹ ṣe àwọn àsùn kan ní area nílé yẹn. Tó bóyá kẹ̀kẹ́ post àwọn kan. Àwọn àsùn
Meanwhile, allow me láti congratulate yín. It's no mean feat. Ọlọ́run á dẹ̀ sọ yín. Ilé yín, ìlú yín, lẹ́sàn-án rí. Iṣẹ́ àṣe dànù. 150 town hall meetings. How many weeks in a year? 52 ni. By the time it's no mean feat. I personally congratulate you, and I really appreciate all your efforts. Last year, I keep it consistent, keep it going. Last year, gbogbo wa Ọlọ́run á fún wa lẹ́san rí.
Àṣẹ, thank you. Àṣẹ, ẹ ṣé gan. Báwo ni mo ṣe wá fẹ́ introduce ìyàwó Ìjẹ̀bú báyìí? Oyè wọn tiẹ̀ ti pọ̀ jù. Àwọn náà bá Ifá tán, fádàhùn sí. Àwọn tún ní ará ilé Ògún. Ààrẹ Ògún lákàyè ọ̀sìn mọ́lẹ̀, onílé kọ́ngùkọ́ngùn. Olómi ilé fẹ̀jẹ̀wẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin náà tún ní ẹ̀yin ní ìyàwó Ìjẹ̀bú. Ẹ̀yin tún ní prophetess. Ẹ̀yin ní ìyálóde lórí ìkànnì. Ìyá olóyè púpọ̀. You're welcome to this program today. And I'm so glad that Àlàyé ló ń sọ̀rọ̀. Wọ́n ní tó bá pòkú ní pópó, Àlàyé ló ń dáhùn. Ọlọ́run jẹ́ kó jẹ́ pé a wà láàárín àwọn tó kàyẹ tá a wà nípínlẹ̀ ní. Agbára àwọn onílẹ̀, ìmísí àwọn onílẹ̀, ìmísí àwọn bàbá wa tán jagun àjàyè lóṣogbo tán kóra wọn jọ kò ní jẹ́ kí a ṣe lè láṣetì. Àní jẹ̀bi ara wa, àní jẹ̀bi Yorùbá. A máa ṣe láṣeyè. Thank you very much and welcome to everybody on the panel today.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Ẹjọ́ tí Mr. Kọ́ládé tí Sister Tinu tí wọ́n bá dé pẹ̀lú Barrister Dumosu. Barrister Dumosu is on the motorway and it's not appropriate for him to be part of the program when he's driving. So as soon as he's available, he will join the meeting. So live your Mr. Kolade, should we commence the program?
Yeah, the next segment of the program is the question and answer to the panelists for them to answer questions and debate on the issues at hand. So over to you now as well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The English will say that it may be too late to cry when the heads are off. When the heads are off, it may be too late. The simple question is this, and this is more like a tag question, yes or no, so that we can save time. Can we govern a land that has been taken over by aliens? Mrs. Popola Obi. Is it possible to still govern a land that has been taken over by aliens?
The short answer is no, because they've taken the power of the people that own the land.
Thank you. Eshigoma. Dr. Yofule, the same question.
Following what Madam Kukola said, the answer is a definite no. Nítorí kíni tó bá jẹ́ democratic process ni, first of all, àwọn tó ti take over land wọn ní allow wọn kan vote. Tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ oligarchic process ni, àwọn tó take over, àwọn bí 100 tó take over, àwọn náà máa rule perpetually. So the answer to that question is no.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. Ìyá olóyè rẹpẹtẹ. Títayọ̀mísí.
I will say capital no.
Thank you.
Torí tí wọ́n bá ti gé orí, kò sí point kan tún ṣe máa sunkún ó ti lọ nìyẹn.
Thank you. And brother wa Mucheko.
Ilẹ̀ ti lọ, ilẹ̀ ẹ̀dẹ̀ nìkan kọ́ ló lọ. Mi ò mọ whoever ló share experience yìí lórí television or àwọn programs tá máa ń wò sci-fi, Star Trek. Wọ́n máa ń pe kíní yẹn ní Star Trek náà ní version Star Trek ni wọ́n pe àwọn kan ní ó dà pé cyborg náà pè wọ́n aliens ni wọ́n. But the interesting thing ni wípé kì í ṣe pé wọ́n kàn gba craft ship àwọn èèyàn. Wọ́n ṣe gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n gba mind wọn. So once you've defeated the land, you've defeated the people. Gbogbo ẹ̀ ti lọ náà nìyẹn. Taking control back, ó máa sọ di challenge me tó jẹ́ pé téèyàn bá ṣọ́ra wọ́n ti beat èèyàn at it already. So control ó ti bọ́. Ẹ sọ news kan sìn nípa pé nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣé middle belt ní ká pé area yẹn. Symptoms rẹ̀ kí àwa máa wò nìyẹn wípé they are coming for us. Wọ́n máa ti wọlé, wọ́n máa ti establish ara wọn as the control ti bọ́ lọ́wọ́ àwa. So chances of control ó ń bọ́ every mile. Some bá take land mile kì í ṣe control mile lásán, land mile lásán. So we a lè continue láti máa reiterate wípé we are going to lose control of tàbá ti lose it to aliens. Our gan wọ́n ti assimilate wa yẹn, we are done. End of game. Ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan.
Olóòtú, ẹ jọ̀ọ́.
Yes, sir.
Tẹ́ ẹ bá bínú, mo fẹ́ back up nǹkan tí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ, even though mo ti answer tẹ́lẹ̀.
Yes, sir.
Again, when we forget history, we're bound to repeat the errors of history. And they go throughout history, come on, will be àwọn èèyàn ti lose ìlú wọn. In recent times, àwọn North Africans ti lose ìlú wọn fún Arabs. But I want to go far back into antiquity, the time of the Sumerians. You see, most of our people don't realize the Sumerians were blacks. Ní sọ́mà ní Mesopotamian area ni wọ́n sọ, Mesopotamia, ibi tí Iran, Iraq wà. They were blacks. And one small digression. Those of you who see this girl, Kardashian, on TV, Kim Kardashian, Babe from that area ni Atoni Kardashian tiwa. Be Kim to look like a light-skinned black woman. It's because they were blacks. One of the historians of antiquity once said, when a people lose their land and also forget their history, like the people of Sumeria, hence Sumerians are no more. You are no more. Hello to you.
Thank you. Eshe Gonsa. Eshe. Thank you. During the week, there was a news that actually went viral. nínú àwọn nǹkan táwọn èèyàn circulate, we saw people of northern extractions claiming to be from Lagos, and their certificate of origin, top present of war, Nigerian army. They took the slot of Lagos, Yoruba land, in the army. It bothers me that maybe somebody connived with them, even though people are saying that, what do you call it? Washington Business Center. But Tolulope, our shining star, who served the Nigerian nation excellently, we're yet to hear the news that those responsible for his death were tried and punished. Nothing has been heard. Tabawo, the fact pé àwọn èèyàn wà nínú Nigerian army nísìn tí wọ́n tiẹ̀ lè gbé certificate kan wọbẹ̀ tí ó sì ń tó verify 100 train. How many do we think have already taken the slot for the Yoruba land? And considering the fact that some of the lands in Yoruba land now host these same people, considering the fact that they were less than 30% in Futajalon region, and the conquest agenda is ongoing. We've heard about what happened in the middle belt and what is ongoing in Yoruba land. We've seen what is going on in Kogi. We talk about food security, which is part of security to life. Now, the security is something that we believe should be treated in an holistic manner. Because tí àgbẹ̀ ò bá lè dáko, tí ò lè lọ sóko, kò lè ṣoúnjẹ, tí ò bá ṣoúnjẹ, èèyàn á wà nígboro. Tí ò bá sí èèyàn, tí èèyàn bá dẹ̀ wà, wàhálà dé. Yoruba nation is turning to Almajiri nation. During the week, there was another video where ní olú ìlú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá, van gbé oúnjẹ lọ. Without prior planning, our people rushed and took whatever they could lay their hands on in the van. The convoy of the president drove past a place in Lagos, and our people were saying, "Ebi ń pa wá o." I've had the privilege of lying on the street waiting for President Gowon to pass by. So I don't come wa, but you do not have to accept it. So the question is this: Taba wo àwọn nǹkan tá a yan briefly yìí. Question kejì wa ni, ṣé ó possible káwọn èèyàn wa lè dáko without adequate security? Ká lo Kogi as an example. Without people that are regulated, that are licensed to carry weapons to defend farmers in Yoruba land. We're talking of people who are legitimately, because there are some security forces in Yoruba land that are allowed to carry certain calibers of weapons. Is it possible without those people for farmers to farm? Nation, I want to ask our brother Amotekun.
Challenges unfortunately. Or security it's rather unfortunate because every time Taba die by the time Taba father, atumari specific factors to my deco home there's serious intention to weaken us. Now, as it is, it may feel even on ordinary crime, one more Jackie Southwest Kumadaru, not providing us with the right amount of police service, let's uphold what we have already, or let's improve it. Now, everything time she lower. So many people out there trying to come up with ideas for nuclear agriculture and all of that. Everything is concerted somewhat against what. Me, mo explain kini lack of eloquence, sort of. Why would somebody ko daeran malu sínú oko ó lè dàbí accident or so, but to wá take next step tó lọ wú ẹ̀gẹ́ tí kìí ṣe kó fẹ́ jẹ fúnra ẹ̀ tó wá dúró tó wá ń gé ẹ̀gẹ́ yẹn sí màálù lẹ́nu. Nǹkan kan ló embolden ẹ̀ láti ṣe that act of wickedness. This is the part of the matter of security. Security in the sense of where somebody hasn't given the next person any home training or community training. One weekend one, I expect there's a system out there that's going to protect the Southwest. It's not going to happen. One weekend one. One weekend wa lórí pé kọ́ máa jẹ́ káwọn ọmọ kọ́ máa jáde kọ́ máa ṣe nǹkan tó bá wù wọ́n. Just Yahoo gbogbo ẹ̀. Yahoo is not prevalent up now. It's not because we are more educated or we have better access to devices. They are doing that to weaken us. So when you go to the part, agriculture, I mean, actually, we example right from the middle belt. It's coming. It's coming against us. It's as if we are in a losing battle. But we are gradually losing control. I'm continue last so mantra last so explain time is our greatest enemy. Security wa nile Yoruba is being diminished gradually. Agriculture comfortably without that confidence. It's virtually impossible. How do we get our people to together in such a way so we are serve our help our jarawa? Nobody is going to fight for us, and it's getting worse. There are so many corners, nothing but our jai. There are so many dimensions, nothing but our jai. But nisuru kajoku kawa way to we are going to fight back. So at this stage, all of my equal too late. Kò sí nǹkan tá lè ṣe. Tá bá ti kọ́kọ́ wá bá ṣe máa ṣe tó yẹ pé security wa máa improve. The points tó jẹ́ pé ó máa wà àdúgbò wa máa wà impenetrable. I think that's the right word. And it takes people. It takes us. So priority wa this thing. Mo dey hope pé at some point, I want to leaders who are going to security is paramount at this point. The earlier the better. Security, there's so many types of security. Security definitions so are multifaceted back home. But this security against bandits, Fulani headsmen, Boko Haram, and so on. It's something we need to deal with as a matter of urgency. For time war against war. It might be no that for anyway, if we mutually answer a question.
Thank you very much. Ìyálóde. Ìyálóde. Ó kàn yín o. Kí lẹ rí sọ sí nǹkan tí brọ́dà wa sọ?
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ mi ò gbọ́ question yẹn dáadáa.
Ok. Ṣé ẹ jẹ́ kí n gé kúrú pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tá a mọ̀ nísìnyí? Ṣé ó possible ká lè dáko kágbẹ̀ lọ sóko without adequate security? Tá a bá wò pé wọ́n ní tó ń jẹ́ bá kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́ bùṣe.
Ó ti tó bẹ́ẹ̀ mo ti understand.
Thank you.
Àgbẹ̀ tó bá fẹ́ kú lè lọ. Àgbẹ̀ tó bá ti ní oògùn ayẹta AK-49, 47, kó má dẹ́ àtọ́kọ́ ẹ̀ kó máa lọ àti agbọ̀n kó lọ. Ṣẹ́rí a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí à ń sọ bí eré àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wa wọn ò dá sí i, àwọn ọba wa wọn ò dá sí i. Wọ́n ní ọ̀run ya bọ̀ kò ń ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ ẹnìkan. À ń gbà tó bá dé àwọn tí kò dá sí náà máa sunkún ẹ̀ tó jù. Ṣebí bí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn Haúsá nìyẹn, ṣebí bí àwọn Futajalon ṣe fún Haúsá tán di ẹrú wọn di ọ̀la nìyẹn. Ẹ jẹ́ kó múra sí i. Wọ́n ní àwọn Yorùbá bàbá wa ní òtútù ló máa ń ṣòfìfo ní tòbí kan. It's such a shame pé gbogbo wa tá à ń jà ń bí nsìn a ní fámìlì díẹ̀díẹ̀ tá a fẹ́ràn sí ìlú yẹn. If not, ṣé ló yẹ ká máa wò wọ́n? Àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe security là ń sọ ń pẹ̀. Àwọn ìjàǹdùkú tó ń jáwó ní bus stop tó lọ ń jà fún àwọn ọ̀gá àwọn MC and co. Àwọn kan wọ́n lọ ń jà tó ń jẹ́ pé ẹ̀jẹ̀ máa jáde lára ìwọ̀n ara wọn tó máa para wọn. Ṣé àwọn yẹn wọn lè kó ara wọn jọ káwọn náà fọ́ọ̀mù security tó dáa kó má yẹ pé ibi burúkú náà ti máa gbórúkọ wọn, kó máa lọ sí abúlé tó jẹ́ pé tí àwọn Futajalon gan bá rí wọn ẹ̀rù á bà wọ́n, so that oúnjẹ á lè wà, because like ẹ sọ tẹ́bí bá ti kúrò nínú ìṣẹ́ tí kò fẹ́ rẹ́fẹ́. Tá bá lè ní àwọn tó ṣe, mo máa ń sọ ní all the time, tó bá ṣe nǹkan kan fún wọn bóyá ní àwọn Ọ̀yọ́ state wọ́n ti ń pa wá o, wọ́n ti tún pa wá o, wọ́n máa pa yín ìgbà náà ní pa yín nígbà tó jẹ́ pé ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó yẹ kẹ́ ṣe. So àwọn Ìbàràpá nǹkan ọkọ̀ báyìí sí mi rò pé ó léèyàn kan nínú wọn tó gbórígbóyà kó tún mú àdá kó ń lọ sóko. Tí ò bá ti sí yẹn, ṣe bí oko náà ti ń gbóúnjẹ wálé, kò ṣáà ṣe pé kò ń ṣe Lẹ́kí náà ti ń ṣe oúnjẹ náà, inú oko náà ti ń gbé oúnjẹ wálé. So láì jẹ́ pé a ní security a lè ní oúnjẹ jẹ, ká má parọ́ fún ara wa. Àwọn Futajalon dẹ̀ ti ń dá kòkò mọ́ wa pé àwọn ò ní supply oúnjẹ. Mo dẹ̀ gbàdúrà kó má supply ẹ̀. Àdúrà tí lórí àdúrà mi bá ti gbàdúrà mi tán màá ní Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ó supply oúnjẹ sí ilẹ̀ Yorùbá o. Because láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n dì pẹ̀lú wa orí wa ò ní pé. Wọ́n ní láti stop oúnjẹ wọn, satanic food wọn, kó stop ẹ̀. Tó bá stop ẹ̀ tẹ́bí bá fẹ́ lù wá pa á mọ̀ pé ó yẹ ká lọ dáko. So answer sí nǹkan tẹ́ béèrè ni pé ẹ má ní mo rojọ́ lọ, inú bí mi ni. Answer sí question yìí ni pé no, without security we cannot farm. Ẹ ṣé.
Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n bẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ màmá wa, Mrs. Popola Obeye. Ẹ bá wa fẹnu kún kínní.
Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn àti Sister Yẹ́misí wọ́n ti sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ fi kún náà ni pé ṣé rí, and ó ṣòro láti máa sọ̀rọ̀ kókó ọ̀rọ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn wa láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n rí pé bí èèyàn ń bú wọn ni. Ṣùgbọ́n kókó ọ̀rọ̀ a ní láti bára wa sọ̀rọ̀. A ní àrùn kan o, àwa Yorùbá, tèmi rí. Àtẹ́yàn bá ní àrùn tí ò bá tí ì gbà pé òun ní àrùn, kò lè mọ bóun ṣe ibi tó máa gbé gbà láti tackle láti find solution sí àrùn yẹn. So kí ni àrùn tèmi rí pé a ní? Kí n ka nǹkan kún. We're very nonchalant. Even though tá bá wà nídìí iṣẹ́, we give 120, 30, 50%. We are the best. We have the best brains in Africa and the black race. We have the best. We've done the first of everything almost that any human being can imagine to be done. Ṣùgbọ́n a kì í exercise that intelligence in the right way in some cases. Ibi tá délé ní kò ṣàná ló bẹ̀rẹ̀ kò ṣèjẹta. Dr. Oyefule wọ́n go back sí ìgbà àwọn Sumerians. Àwọn èèyàn wà tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ wa. And the way táwọn èèyàn ṣe lè gba ilẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sí pé wọ́n ń pa yín ní kàn fi ebi pa yín. If you can't feed yourselves, you're as well as dead, basically. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn tí a pè lólórí, bóyá wọ́n yanra wọn ni o, bóyá a yàn wọ́n ni o. Lójú tèmi, ó jọ pé they're always distracted. Wọ́n fi ojú sí ibi tó yẹ kán fi ojú sí. Ibi tó yẹ kán fi ojú sí ni the protection of their people. Àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n yàn wọ́n síbẹ̀ àbí àwọn èèyàn tí àwọn yanra wọn síbẹ̀ pé àwọn fẹ́ jẹ́ olórí fún. Nígbà Kérésìmesì tó kọjá yìí, wọ́n ní ààrẹ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà, President Tinubu, ó fún àpò ìrẹsì in thousands fún àwọn Senate reps and all those people kan share pẹ̀lú àwọn constituents wọn, àwọn tí wọ́n ní oversight over, which is laudable. Wọ́n ní pé àpò ara ẹ̀ ló ti jáde. Again, owó tó fi rà, laudable. What I would have expected is that, and this is a lesson, and who am I to educate our leaders? But sometimes, ọmọdé lè gbọ́n kágbà gbọ́n ká fi túlù wá ṣe ni. What I would have expected Ààrẹ to do, knowing irú àwọn èèyàn tá jẹ́ nílùú wa, to make an announcement pé mo ṣe báyìí o, as a gift to the people, to the nation. Ẹ lọ bá àwọn reps yìí, ẹ lọ bá àwọn tó ń lead yìí in your local area. Ẹ lọ béèrè fún tiyín. So that nobody can come and rebag the rice, either selling it or giving it as a gift tó bá ṣe party. And then ọkùn ọkọ̀ fún àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n tó mọ̀. And the people tó aṣíwájú ààrẹ ń try láti target, they're left with nothing. Àwọn èèyàn mi lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ rí kankan gbà ó, torí mo béèrè specifically. Kí ni mò ń try láti fàyọ ń bẹ̀? Àwa gan náà fúnra wa, we have to look inwards. Ẹ jẹ́ ká wo ara wa. Ipa wo làwa ń kó nínú ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ń pànìyàn ní oko? Àwọn wo là ń ràn lọ́wọ́ wọ́n lè pa àwọn èèyàn wa ní oko? Because olè wá jà nínú ilé tèmi láì jẹ́ pé ẹni tó ń gbénu ilé mi ó fi hàn ibi tí mo kó òun ní mi sí. So we must look inwards to every Yoruba person to ask that question. Ìgbésẹ̀ tí n bá gbé, ṣé mò ń gbé fún ìlọsíwájú àwọn èèyàn mi ni? Àbí mò ń ṣe fún ara tèmi àti àwọn ìran mi tó jẹ́ pé tèmi nìkan ni? So the first thing tá láti ṣe ni pé we must acknowledge kí ni àrùn tá ní nínú ilẹ̀ Yorùbá tó ń jà wá. tó wá di pé ó wá dé ìta wá ń gbé àwọn àlejò wọlé kí wọ́n máa pa wá ṣeré nítorí pé àwọn leaders ti wà nílẹ̀ Yorùbá tipẹ́ whether a wà ní Nàìjíríà àbá sí ní Nàìjíríà they are Yorùbá leaders they are Yorùbá ara wa inú ilé wa náà ti jáde ìran wa ni wọ́n I understand constitution wà ní Nàìjíríà ṣùgbọ́n ó ní bí ẹ̀yin gan náà ṣe máa ṣe tó ṣe jẹ́ pé constitution yẹn á work fáwọn èèyàn yín you will have the mindset of mo wá ṣe nǹkan tí a ó máa mú ìlọsíwájú fún ìran tèmi ni even though a ṣì wà ní Nàìjíríà nínú ìgbèkùn tá a wà nígbà tó fẹ́ dá Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sílẹ̀ ṣé gbogbo Yorùbá land ló fi ọwọ́ gbà Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn
ẹ má sọ̀rọ̀ yín lọ́mọ.
Okay, ẹ ṣé gbogbo Yorùbá governor ni wọ́n embrace the concept, the idea, the objectives of Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn because Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn was supposed to protect our people. Number one. Number two, ṣé gbogbo Yorùbá governors ni wọ́n fight pé àníṣe Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn yìí must stand and we need the right equipment láti fi support àwọn èèyàn wa. Were they speaking with one voice? Torí mo gbọ́ pé àwọn èèyàn kan ò lọ, wọ́n send representative wọn ni. There is something called propaganda, which is not real, is not facts, but people see it as facts. The fact pé àwọn míì ò lọ nínú wọn yẹn, ó ti turn kìíní yẹn upside down. Ó ti jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn rí pé kò possible, kò lè ṣeé ṣe, kò dẹ̀ yẹ kó ṣeé ṣe, kò dẹ̀ yẹ kán gbà. But tí gbogbo wọn bá wà united tó ń lọ, tó ń fight fún àwọn èèyàn wọn, òdìkejì propaganda yẹn á work pé àwọn eléyìí wọ́n máa mean ẹ̀ gan. So ẹ wá béèrè question yẹn. Can our people go to farm without adequate security? Kò ṣeé ṣe. Sister Yemisi sọ ẹni tó bá fẹ́ kú nìkan ló máa sọ pé òun fẹ́ lọ síbẹ̀. And ẹni tó ti kú kò ṣó fẹ́ fáàmù mọ́ ni, ṣó fẹ́ jẹun ni, ṣó fẹ́ look after family ẹ̀ ni, wọ́n lè look after family ẹ̀. But there is something that béèrè lẹ́ǹkan pé without licensing weapons and all that. Through Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, they can still do that. They can still do that. The structure is there. That structure should not be collapsed. That structure should be enhanced. Wọ́n láti fún àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn lọ́wọ́ kán ṣe iṣẹ́ wọn. Tí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn bá ṣe iṣẹ́ wọn, then àwọn á kí àwọn èèyàn wa lẹ́yìn, á kí wọn lọ́kàn pé àwọn lè lọ knowing pé àwọn wà safe. Ṣùgbọ́n nígbà tí Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn gan, mo rántí nígbà tí bàbá mi wà láyé tó ní oko. Tipẹ́ là ń sọ yìí o. Wọ́n ní ṣakabula. That is before àwọn AK-47 gbogbo nǹkan tó ń gbé kiri ń sìn. But the shakabula was strong enough láti protect the farm. And ẹni tó dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé òun wá síbẹ̀, nǹkan tó bá ló bá. Yàtọ̀ sí pé bóyá ajá ó gé wọn jẹ o, àbí kinní kan ṣe gbá o, àbí irin tó bá fọwọ́ kàn, iná máa mú wọn o, ó máa mú wọn o, whatever. There are different ways that they protect ara wa still. But a láti jí pépé. Ká tètè mọ̀ kí ni àrùn wa. Àrùn wa ni pé it is serious and therefore you must take it seriously. We should not be nonchalant about it and ká pawọ́pọ̀ láti ṣe. Ó dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ àwọn olórí wa. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣé mà. Dr. Yefule, ṣe ní nǹkan tó fẹ́ fi kún nǹkan tó ń sọ? Àbí kí n bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọ̀dọ̀ yín?
Ẹ lè bẹ̀rẹ̀ kọ́ sí wọ́n ti exhaustively coverage àwọn mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta.
Okay. Basically, a mọ̀ wípé ikú tó ń pojú wẹ̀ ni òwe ara ló ń pa fún ni. Yorùbá ní pàṣà ò fúnra, pàṣà jáná, àjà ò fúnra. àjájìn tó nílé ò bá fúnra olè ló máa kó lọ. I understand pé gbogbo ìlú tí wọ́n ti irú nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Plateau State tí wọ́n bá lé àwọn èèyàn kúrò nílùú kò ṣe pé ìlú yẹn máa empty empty ẹlòmíì ló ń gbabẹ̀ ilé tí wọn ò kọ́ ilẹ̀ tí wọn ò ní tí wọn ò rà tán jogún àwọn náà ń gbé bẹ̀. As we speak, we know there are thousands of Yoruba citizens ní Yewa from Yewa tó ń take refuge ní Cotonou. Nothing has been done about it. That at least the government of Ogun State can say, we've returned those people, and everybody claiming to represent Yoruba seems to be silent about this. That can't be right. So in view of this, and what the Igbos are saying and they are agitating for, what is your general appraisal of security of life and properties in that nation, Nigeria?
Thank you. Abysmally poor. Koko summarize into bere. It is terribly poor. Ṣé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan tá à ń rí nsìn tá à ń rí last year tá à rí year before ìgbà yẹn náà gan kọ́ ló start ó wà strategic on their part wọ́n ti strategically plan eléyìí that way demoralization tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ nílẹ̀ wa are steadily come in. Demoralization was insidious, so all over the place. The kìí ṣe Unfortunately, our leaders were or non-leaders were wọn kò bí ara sí kìí ṣe nítorí pé wọn ò gbọ́, but fear of the unknown. They are feeling pé wọ́n ti sọ, that's federal government o, wọ́n ti ní ká ṣe báyìí. Kò dé tún ní surprise mi tí àwọn èèyàn tá à ń sọ ìyàwó Karambani bá actively bribe wọn kán ba lè máa dá àwọn èèyàn wọn kán dalẹ̀. Ṣé most of these people wọ́n ń ṣe true leaders? Because one of the qualities of leadership ni foresight. Kì í ṣe hindsight o. Hindsight is always 2020. But foresight ni one of the cardinal signs, cardinal qualities tí leader gbẹ́dọ̀ ní. Unfortunately, gbogbo àwọn tó ń pera wọn ní leader wa, wọn ò ní. Because tó ń bá ní, kí ni stop Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kó wà pandemic, kó wà all over Yoruba land? What's stopping it? And what's stopping Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn láti lọ sínú gbogbo igbó kán lọ flush àwọn èèyàn yìí out? What's stopping them? Mi sọ pé Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn lọ mú àwọn kan lé ní ohun tó ń showcase wọn. No, I'm not talking about that. Are these people still in our bushes? As long as the answer is yes, then they've not done what they're supposed to do. You meet fire with fire now. Ìgbà míì, sorry láti sọ eléyìí o. Èèyàn á ní pé kò ní dá fún constitution. Sorry for the curse word. Constitution owó ni ẹ̀ ń pa àwọn èèyàn mi. Ẹni constitution ni pé kí n má gbébọn. To hell with that constitution. Constitution is meant to protect people. When my people are not protected and I am the leader, bójẹ́ local council chairman ni o, bójẹ́ TB, bójẹ́ tọ̀hún, when my people are not protected, irú constitution wo lẹ ṣe láti anywhere tẹ́ ti ṣe? Mi ò rò pé Ọlọ́run God himself did not write that constitution. Humans wrote it. Tọ́nbádẹ̀ kọ́ in a way láti skew ẹ̀ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ara wọn. Then it's my responsibility as a leader to protect my people by all means necessary. So, sad though, situation in Yoruba land is very, very, very sad, and our leaders have not done their part to protect us. As long as those Karambani with the AK-47 and AK-49 still walk around Yoruba land.
Thank you. Eshego. Brother wa Mocheko, even though it's a touch, but is there something you want to add to what Barrister said?
There's plenty.
General.
Plenty mo fẹ́ add má dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti ọ̀dọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n mi, somebody I duly respect, ìyẹn bàbá wa Oyèfúlẹ̀. Ṣẹ́rí ẹ máa ń lo language wa, ó dàbí pé àǹtí wa náà ti mention language yẹn pé àwọn leaders wa. Àwọn wo ni leaders wa gangan? Who has actually earned that hierarchy? Ta fẹ́ pè ní leader. Èmi pẹ̀lú yín lè jókòó báyìí, mo dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́nu yín, mo dẹ̀ ń gbọ́ ọ̀rọ̀ àgbà lẹ́nu yín, ọ̀rọ̀ leader lẹ́nu yín. Ẹni tí máa choose the leader nìyẹn. Ṣé àwọn tẹ́ ń pè ní leader? They've taken our leaders. Gbogbo ala rí bàbá òun kí lórúkọ bàbá yìí, bàbá Ayọ̀ Adébánjọ nínú private plane pẹ̀lú àwọn enemies wa. Kí ni business kan ní papọ̀? They've taken our leaders by avarice. Ojú kòkòrò. Nǹkan tí wọ́n nǹkan fẹ́ ní, they've taken them. They've taken our education. Intellect ta ní, wọ́n ti divide. Láwọn àgbà kankan, ẹ má jẹ́ ká continue láti máa sọ pé a ní àwọn àgbà kan. Tá bá ní àwọn àgbà kan ni, a máa hàn lára wa. And àwọn kan tá pè ní àgbà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ yẹn, they are losing anything, any grip on at all. So we don't have anything. So tí n bá sọ pé mo ní àgbà ń sìn, àwọn tí mo wà in contact pẹ̀lú ẹ̀ tó dẹ̀ ń ṣe bí àgbà ni. So tẹ́nìkan bá jókòó wájú mi ń sìn tó ní ìwé kan báyìí lòun kà. It kò ní meaning until tó bá lè apply it. Application is more important than education. So wọ́n ti ń bá wa fà bọ̀ ti pé àkàn tètè mọ ní. Kí ló fà á round about 2019 or thereabout? Tonic everybody wá kó ìbọn wọn sílẹ̀. Kẹ wá kó license yín sílẹ̀. Àfúrà náà, àfúrà tó kí à ní àwọn àgbà. What was the incident to lead to that order? Wípé kán wá kó bọ̀ sílẹ̀. Kán wá kí tẹ̀ ṣe ìbọn lásán, ẹ kó license náà sílẹ̀. Ìbọn àti license yàtọ̀ síra wọn. What was Amusu dealing with? Níjọ́ kìíní tó ra ìbọn jọ. I can only speculate. Ṣé o mọ̀ pé nǹkan kan ń bọ̀ ni? Or was it just political? So gbogbo àwọn ohun tá à ń pè ní àgbà. I'm most trying to work it out. What does àgbà need? What does it mean? Ilé wa ń bàjẹ́ lọ, mo á jókòó mo sọ pé àwọn àgbà. So tèmi náà bá wá wọ 80 nísìnyí, màá wá emulate wọn, màá bá yé àwọn ọmọ ọlọ́mọ jẹ́. Màá dẹ̀ pera mi ní citizen Yorùbá nation. No. Everything ta ní wọ́n ti gbà lọ́wọ́ wa, wọ́n gba education wa gan. Let's look around us. Mo máa ń sọ kí ni ìfáwọn èèyàn. There's a serious epidemic tó máa bá Yorùbá jà. I'm not concerned about tó bá bá Hausa jà. Drugs. There's a drug nísìnyí tó wà tó jáde láti America. Ó dà ní pé ṣé Philadelphia ló ti wà prevalent. Ó máa débí. Horse tranquilizer. Because àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò ní focus kankan. ní security kankan. And we don't have it because we don't have leaders. Tàbá lọ sórí ẹ̀sìn, ní leaders. Tàbá lọ sórí politics, ní leaders. Tàbá lọ sórí social, ní leaders. Tàbá lọ sórí economy, ní leaders. So even we stand solo, we need to start taking that step forward. Together, don't sit down, oh, no, focus on your people. Altruism, altruism here, it's not about me, it's about my people. So, Shari, religion there's one thing within our religion, it's one of the aspects we strengthen wa. Omoluabi is not just a matter of there's a time for Omoluabi láti jà. Ẹni tó bá bínú obìnrin, ẹni tó bá bí is Omoluabi. So tẹ́ bá rí àgbàlagbà tó ń parọ́, ìyẹn ń ṣe Omoluabi náà. This is within our own culture. It is within our religion. We more to see originate to where universal value new, where Nigerian value new, but that Omoluabi part of it. So Charlie, sorry, a reflection Omoluabi nínú Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Àwọn current leaders nínú Yoruba nation, mélòó la lè náwó sí wípé Omoluabi lélẹ́yìí. And to be selflessly. So that language, where our leaders were, where have they led us to? We know where they led us from. Where have they led us to? Where have they led us to? Our topic is in the stage because we are running out of time. We are seriously running out of time. And there's no progress. I'm a select a young post. You just go out and just pick somebody up because they're popular. She's popular. Is that a value? She leadership value near a young popular. Leadership. Yoruba. One opt out. What does that mean? One opt out. We cannot continue to let these people come and get away with nonsense without us speaking up. Let's tell them we say no. If you have to come to equity, you have to come with clean hands. If you want to be a leader, you have to show leadership qualities. It's rubbish.
Thank you.
It's serious.
Oh, yes. Thank you. Basically, I don't know whether Dr. Ifule will remember this. At the early stage, during one of the programs with Yoruba group, I want to mention something now. Òwe Yorùbá la máa fi ràn yàn pé ọ̀ǹtì tí gbogbo wa bá padà sílé á difficult ká lọ jẹ́ nǹkan tí àwọn babańlá wa tán pè wá tán tún pè wá lọ́mọlúàbí tán pè wá ní ìmọ́lẹ̀ gbogbo adúláwọ̀. Owó tí mo fẹ́ pa tútù ṣe bí èrò fún gbogbo ẹ̀yin àgbà tẹ́ wà níjókòó. Wọ́n ní àgbà ò sí nílùú, ìlú dàrú. Baálé ilé kú, ilé di ahoro. What we are deliberating and we want to see come to an end in our climb is kílẹ̀ wa kó má di ahoro. Ìkúná pè láhoro ibi tí ọmọ onílé ò bá ti sí ńbẹ̀ ibẹ̀ ló di ahoro. But ẹ jẹ́ kí n gbọ́ nǹkan tí Ìyálóde fẹ́ sọ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ generally báwo lè ṣe rí security Yoruba land and across the nation called Nigeria.
Báwo mo ṣe rí security?
Security.
Yeah, security wà dáadáa. At least àwọn olórí wa wọ́n ti ra bulletproof car 136 million. Ṣé security ni wọ́n kọ́ nìyẹn? Àbí ṣé yẹn ò ṣe security? Security wà fún wọn now. Tá bá wo fídíò ìgbà tí Tinubu lọ sí Bodilum, àwọn entourage mọ́tò tó tẹ̀lé dé about 100. Ṣé kò sí security ni? Àní ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ̀sẹ̀ sọ tán ẹ mọ̀ pé ẹ pè mí fún question yẹn. Tí mo ṣe rí ọ̀rọ̀ tí brother wa Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ. In fact, I was so happy. Ká má tanra wa àgbà òsì ní Yorùbá land. Orúkọ èèyàn kan ló ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, àgbà òsì ń bẹ. Tá bá ní ká kó gbogbo àwọn bàbá wa jọ, bóyá la ṣe lè rí àwọn bóyá la ṣe lè rí àwọn 5 tó lè fọwọ́ sọ̀yà pàgbà lòun. Àwọn yòókù ajẹgúdú jẹrá ni wọ́n. Ẹni tó ti over 80 tó ṣì accumulate owó ṣó fẹ́ kó lọ sọ́run ni. Because àwọn tí wọ́n ń kó owó yìí tán fi owó àwọn ọmọ wọn tán fi owó yìí tán kó lẹ̀ fún wọn lè ṣoríire because èpè àwọn mẹ̀kúnnù ló máa pa wọ́n. Àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké tó yẹ kí wọ́n help ń sìn tí wọ́n help tó ń gba owó lọ́wọ́ àwọn bèríbèrí wọ́n tọ́jú ẹ̀ di àwọn ọmọ wọn. Orí àwọn ọmọ tó ń jìyà lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ tó ń sòkì gàrí fún àtẹ́lẹ̀ tó tẹ̀ rí gàrí tí ìyá ẹ̀ máa lọ gbé sí ẹ̀gbẹ́ títì kéèyàn kan lè gbé kan lè tọ́jú ẹ̀. Orí wọn ò ní jẹ́ kí àwọn ọmọ yẹn kan ṣoríire. Jọjọ́ ọ̀nà máa mú kiri táwọn bá kú wọ́n á dẹ̀ jìyà lọ́run. Ṣé rí security gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wa tó bá yẹ pé ká máa parọ́ ni ká máa fọ̀rọ̀ sí abẹ́ ahọ́n sọ. Àwọn gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì wọn kò rán wọn níṣẹ́. Gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì ta ní òun ṣe gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì at all. Because I was expecting pé àwọn Futajalon ti kúrò ń bẹ̀ ń sìn. Mo ń expect okay nǹkan tí mọ́mì wa Sandra Pópọ́lá sọ. Wọ́n ní kán kó gàrí fún àmì wọ́n ní kán wọ́n ra rice tó pọ̀ pé kí àwọn olórí burúkú ajẹgúdújẹrá kan pín fún àwọn tèbí ń pa. Ẹ tún lọ ń tà. Ẹ ń fi orúkọ yín sí ẹ fi ń ṣe party tó máa pa yín. You know, oníkálukú ló máa wá security ààrẹ. Everybody gbọ́dọ̀ wá security whichever way tó fi ìpolè. At the end of the day, ọmọkùnrin òun kú lẹ́ẹ̀mejì. Ìsádà kó pa wọn ọ̀kan pa ẹ́. If you can't secure yourself, tó bá ń retí Sanwó-Olú kó wá secure ẹ̀, I think you are joking. Àbó ń retí kí bàbá Bodilon wá kó wá secure. But àwọn tí bàbá Bodilon fẹ́ secure wọn ti ra mọ́tò pollution tí wọ́n ń sá fún bí. Wọ́n ṣàkó fún wọn kí gbogbo ẹ̀ máa ṣe bùlàbùlà kí òjò máa rọ̀ nígbà tójò yẹ kó rọ̀. Because àwọn ò mọ wọn tiẹ̀ mi rò pé ṣáà people yóò tiẹ̀ kàwé rárá ni. Because mọ́tò ńlá tẹ̀ ń ra ẹ̀ àwọn tó ṣe mọ́tò they are not buying it. They are not buying it because wọ́n wà conscious about pollution, about climate change, better wa. No, akọ̀ṣà máa ṣe àwọn nǹkan. Anyway, what do you expect? Nígbà tí the whole pastor tó ń lo jet. Pastor tó yẹ kó máa sọ fún wọn pé you don't do irú àwọn nǹkan báyìí kò yẹ kẹ́ ṣe. Ẹ̀ka Bible ìgbà tí Jésù tó wá sáyé ṣé ó lọ ra donkey ni? Tó ra 20, ó ra bíi 13 donkeys ó pin fáwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ náà. No, it wasn't like that. Nǹkan tó bá ti rí lóúnjẹ at that moment. Tó bá yẹ pé àwọn bẹ̀tẹ̀ wọ́n lè tún wá brainwash gbogbo àwọn Kírísítẹ́nì tó wà ní. Kírísítẹ́nì ni mí and I will die Christian. Bẹ̀tẹ̀ kò sí bàbá lẹ́yìn tó lè brainwash mi. Wọ́n ti sọ brainwash wọn tó jẹ́ pé they don't know left to right. Mo ń wo television, mo ń wo kinní kan lórí Facebook. Pastor gbé ẹsẹ̀ sókè àwọn ṣe crossover, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń gba abẹ́ ẹsẹ̀. Wọ́n cross sí other side, mo ní yí ẹ gbà mí. Wọ́n ti sọ brain àwọn eléyìí ti dọ́mdọ́m. Àtàgbà àtọmọdé wọn. Arúgbó gbogbo wọn cross ẹsẹ̀ pastor. ó ń gba ògo wọn ìka á tún bọ́ta wọn á fẹ́ yín orí burúkú mu ní ìwọ lọ what is all this. So security tẹ́ni kò sí àwọn tó ní security wà bẹ́ẹ̀ security nǹkan táwọn wá gbàgbé ni pé ọlọ́run tá a ní kò ń lé ni kó tó mú ni ó lè wà nínú security kàkí àtàtàkì pa ẹ́ síbẹ̀ ikú kan náà ló máa kú ní. So èmi ò believe pé security wà mi ò dẹ̀ believe pé security will ever be tá a bá separate.
Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ ṣé. Ẹ jẹ́ kí torí I'm also conscious of time. A lot of people do complain. And thank you very much. Mo mọ̀ pé àwọn tí wọn bá sí nínú ìpàdé àwọn kan ṣì máa wo kíni lórí YouTube later. Ìrandíran Yorùbá máa wò. Nǹkan mẹ́ta ló wà lọ́kàn wa lénìí láti achieve. Number one is security. Mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta ló wọ́n ní ìtàkùn tó so kíní kan ló so elégédé. Mẹ́tẹ̀ẹ̀ta ọ̀fọ̀ra jọra wọn ni. Ó dàbí èpo ẹ̀pà àti kòsí ẹ̀dírí. A ti sọ̀rọ̀ nípa security ráńpẹ́. Ìkejì tá a fẹ́ sọ is awareness. Again, a tún máa fi padà sílé láti lọ wò. Yorùbá ní àdáṣe òun ló ń wọn ọmọ, ìbà kì í wọn ọmọ. Yorùbá dẹ̀ tún sọ fún wa wípé tí kòró bá júbà ilẹ̀ á lanu fún. To honour each other, ọmọdé gbọ́n àgbà gbọ́n, ọwọ́ ọmọdé ò tó pẹpẹ, tàgbàlagbà ò wọ́ kèrègbè. Ìgbà ọwọ́ alájọṣe ọ̀pọ̀ gìrì ẹsẹ̀ tó ń yẹ̀nà. It is our opinion that ẹgbẹ́ ò lè dáṣe. Hero worshiping of one person, bọ́yọ̀kùnrin àbóbìnrin kò lè gbà wá sílẹ̀ níbi tá a wà yìí. Tó bá jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀, tí Yorùbá bá sọ fún wa tó ṣe bí o, wọ́n ní a kì í fa orí lẹ́yìn olórí. Nínú ìjàngbara tó kọjá, we are moving into awareness now to overlap pẹ̀lú abala ìkíní. A kó flyer lé àwọn èèyàn lọ́wọ́. Wọ́n wọ baseball cap, wọ́n wọ t-shirt, wọ́n bọ́ sáàrin ọjà, wọ́n fún wọn Yorùbá nation now, they must go. But àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ pé ìyàn wà yàtọ̀ fún oúnjẹ pé kíyàn jẹun. Yorùbá ní Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ ká gbóúnjẹ ọ̀tá wa jẹ. Àwọn èèyàn gbórí ilẹ̀ tó lè gbóúnjẹ ọ̀tá wọn jẹ, but wọn ò tiẹ̀ ní power láti vote nílùú wọn gangan. A rí nínú referendum tó ń ṣe l'Australia. Ǹjẹ́ awareness tá a fẹ́ ṣe nísìnyí, ǹjẹ́ kò yẹ kó include proper understanding for our people? Kán mọ̀ kó wà more in depth ju àwọn nǹkan tá a ti ṣe sẹ́yìn lọ. A mọ̀ pé a fẹ́ lọ bọ̀ ìdí tá a fẹ́ fi lọ gan torí à ń jẹ wá ebi ń pa wá láti fẹ́ kúrò níbẹ̀. But we want a situation that every citizen, without looking at any book for referencing, can say these are the history wa lélẹ́yìí o. Wọ́n bá wa jà ní 1840. Àwọn mẹ́ta la bá wọn jà, ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì la win, ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì before wọ́n defeat wa until tí ọdẹ́rin lọ ká sọ fún wọn nípa Orona tó wà ní Ẹ̀gbádò, Ìlaró. Ìkọ́nà bàbá wa sọ pé Sunday Igboho àti Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà, it is beyond that. I saw that. It is beyond that. And Africa rò pé in Israel they call them, and this is nothing to do with the war that's going on between the two nations there. They call them born soldiers. Ṣé àti débi nílẹ̀ Yorùbá nísìnyí tó jẹ́ pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ló máa di Sunday Igboho? Tó yẹ pé gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá pápátá torí wọ́n ní bá ṣe bẹ́rù la ṣe bí ọmọ. Wọn ò dé bí ìyá kan bí èèyàn ń gbénú ìyá méjì jáde, ibì kan náà lèèyàn ti jáde. So kí ló dé tó jẹ́ pé nísìnyí gbogbo ọmọ Yorùbá ká ṣe awareness yẹn òun ló máa jẹ́ kí ìkúlé agbó aṣọ fún toko. So iṣẹ́ wà fún ilẹ̀ wa. Ǹjẹ́ a ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ awareness gangan ṣé kò ṣe pàtàkì ká wá ṣe tó yẹ pé in whatever mode tó máa take tó jẹ́ pé láti àsíá lọ sí gúúsù ìlà oòrùn gbogbo ẹ̀ pápátá tó pé ọ ní ọmọ Yorùbá lórílẹ̀‐èdè Yorùbá á mọ̀ pé ìdí tá a fẹ́ fi lọ gangan lélẹ̀ ṣé kò ṣe pàtàkì ká ṣe awareness yẹn. Yorùbá ní ọwọ́ ló ṣíwájú ijó. Ṣé ẹ rò pé ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ awareness tá a ṣe ṣó wà in order? Mrs. Popola Obe, please.
Ẹ ṣé gan ni. Awareness ó wà very very important. Àti sọ lórí ìkànnì yìí so many times. Ìdí ẹ̀ tó ṣe jẹ́ pé awareness wà important. Nítorí pé kò sí nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe tí àwọn èèyàn ò bá tá a bá get buy-in support àwọn èèyàn tí àwọn èèyàn tí kò yé wọn èèyàn kàn ṣe lásán ni o. Àwọn èèyàn wa wọ́n láti mọ̀ pé ìdí ẹ̀ tí a ṣe fẹ́ lọ nìyí. Àwọn wọ́n rí kò ṣe pé wọ́n ò rí torí kò ṣe pé ìyà ò jẹ wọ́n. Nígbà kan ni wọ́n ní pé ní Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní 3 layers of classes, or probably even more than that. Wọ́n ní the lower, the middle and the upper. Nísìnyí wọ́n ti merge wọ́n ti merge lower and the middle. Kò sí nǹkan tó ń jẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ mọ́. They all lower. Even àwọn tó wà ní upper class gan wọ́n ti downgrade wọn díẹ̀. Wọ́n kàn ń tanra wọn package ara wọn ni. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé àwọn ṣì wà ní upper class. They're not. Because when you compare them to the rest of the world, wọ́n pera wọn ní upper class. Ṣé owó gbogbo wọn ni wọ́n fi bẹ̀rẹ̀ ni? Old money. Àwọn tó bá ní old money tó jẹ́ upper class. Àwọn yẹn ni mo ṣe kà kún. Ṣé àwọn new money tó wà nísìnyí? Owó wọn kọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ẹ má jẹ́ àtànra wa. Àwọn èèyàn wá dẹ̀ láti mọ̀ pé owó tí àwọn pípù yìí ń kó kiri tó fi yangàn sí àwọn èèyàn wa owó ìlú ni. Ìdí ẹ̀ ni tó ṣe jẹ́ pé a ní láti kúrò ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà sẹ́. Nítorí pé àwọn kan ṣe wọn ò rí jẹ, àwọn kan jẹ wọn ò fẹ́ ṣe. There are people like that ní Nàìjíríà. Wàá ṣe wàá forí ṣe wàá fọrùn ṣe. Wọ́n á ní ó yá owó yẹn ẹ jẹ́ a kó sí central account kó lọ sí federal government. Wọ́n á ṣe máa pín owó yẹn kélekèle. Àtàwọn tí wọ́n ṣe àwọn náà tún máa jẹ jù ń bẹ̀. Àwọn tún ni wọ́n máa jẹ jù. Yàtọ̀ sí pé wọ́n jẹ jù wọ́n tún fẹ́ pa àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe pé àwọn fẹ́ gba gbogbo ẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ yín láti ẹ̀fẹ́ gbà gbogbo ẹ̀ pátápátá láti ẹ̀fẹ́ gbà. Nítorí pé pẹ́pẹ́sẹ́ ìran wa lónìí ìran àwọn wo. So gbogbo kíní ìlà láti explain fáwọn èèyàn wa kí wọ́n lè understand bá ṣe débi tá dé yìí àbá ṣe lè kúrò nínú ìgbèkùn yìí tó jẹ́ pé ó máa dá fún ilẹ̀ wa àti fún àwọn ìrandíran wa. So ó wà very very important. The awareness is very very important. Ṣùgbọ́n èmi á sọ pé gbogbo ìta ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ kò lọ sí waste. A ṣe mẹ́yẹ bọ̀ lápò ni. Because ó ti jí àwọn èèyàn kan kí rẹ̀wẹ̀sì tó dé kí èèyàn kan tó dé kó tó sọ pé òun ló ń gba òmìnira fún wa ní 2022. Ó wá bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì sí ọkàn àwọn èèyàn. Ṣùgbọ́n a lè tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ yẹn padà ká rán àwọn èèyàn wa létí. Ìdí ẹ̀ tó ṣe jẹ́ pé a lè continue báyìí mọ́ nítorí pé Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ lẹ́ǹkan yẹn pé kó má bàa létí jù nítorí ó fẹ́ máa dà bẹ́ẹ̀. Ó fẹ́ dà bẹ́ẹ̀ pé tá bá jí ojoojúmọ́ bá ṣe ń jí tá rò pé ó ti bàjẹ́ nígbà tá fẹ́ lọ sùn. Tá bá tún jí ẹ tún rí pé ìbàjẹ́ yẹn tẹ̀ tí wá pọ̀ ju ìgbà tá lọ sùn lọ. It's getting worse, gradually getting worse. And a ní láti ṣìpẹ̀ fáwọn èèyàn wa púpọ̀ jù this time around nítorí pé àwọn náà ti ń feel ẹ̀. Wọ́n ti ń feel pain yẹn. Wọn kàn mọ àbáyọ ni ọ̀nà àbáyọ ni wọn mọ̀. Báwo la ṣe fẹ́ yọ nínú ìgbèkùn? They don't know. and Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan yẹn pé a ní leaders. I agree, because tó bá jẹ́ pé a ní olórí ni, àwọn ọba wa, àwọn ìjòyè wa, àwọn gómìnà wa, àwọn senators wa, gbogbo wọn pátápátá lè ẹ̀kọ́ pawọ́pọ̀, wọ́n dẹ̀ lè máa ṣe oníkọ̀kọ̀ tá a mọ̀, ṣùgbọ́n ó yẹ ká rí àpẹẹrẹ níta díẹ̀díẹ̀, àpẹẹrẹ pé àwọn èèyàn yìí wọ́n máa take it seriously, wọ́n máa dẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan pa ẹ̀, wọ́n máa foríkorí o láti wo kí ni a ṣe lè ṣe ká lè gba àwọn èèyàn wa kúrò nínú ọ̀nà yìí. So èmi á rọ gbogbo àwọn sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ wa, whether on social media, whether physically ní Nigeria and even abroad, because ẹ jẹ́ àsọ tòótọ́ fúnra wa, ṣé rí àwa gan ta wà ní diaspora, àwa dákún gbogbo wàhálà tó wà nílẹ̀ yìí, nítorí pé àwọn èèyàn kan wà ní diaspora tó jẹ́ pé they might as well be, their heads might as well be in the sand. Ostriches ni wọ́n ti kọrí wọn sí sand pé àníṣe ṣé gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ Nàìjíríà yẹn kò bá mi lọ jàre, wọ́n máa sort ara wọn out, you know, èmi wà okay níbi tí mo wà yìí. Nàìjíríà kò sí nǹkan kan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ náà. Mo ń bá àwọn èèyàn kan sọ̀rọ̀ last week, a lọ sí function kan, wọ́n sọ fún mi pé kí ni gbogbo ariwo tẹ́tí ẹ̀ máa ń pa gan, pé kò sí nǹkan kan, ṣebí ìyà ń jẹ gbogbo all over the world now. Wọn ò rí, they don't see it, they don't see the danger. Wọn ò kọbi ara sí gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ yìí, pé díẹ̀ náà ń wọlé sí wa lára. Nísìnyí ó jọ pé wọ́n ti wá wọlé tó jẹ́ pé kò ń ṣe skin wa ni wọ́n wọ̀ mọ́, wọ́n ti fẹ́ wá kíyẹmí ara. Ọlọ́run ò dẹ̀ ní fún wọn ṣe, but à ń láti jí gbogbo ara, everybody must wake up, not only ní orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà but anywhere tí Yorùbá person bá wà lórílẹ̀-èdè ayé yìí sẹ́ẹ̀. We must speak with one voice and we must join hands together. We have the same objectives. Àti máa débẹ̀ ló kàn difficult, àwọn èèyàn ò rí pé báwo la ṣe fẹ́ ṣe, so oníkálukú ń try oríṣiríṣi ways, but we must have one vision, one objective. Gbogbo energy wa ka channel sí the same place. But àwọn olórí wa, they must be seen and heard to be doing the right things. Kò ń ṣe pé ẹ máa sáré tẹ̀lé project kìnnìkan. Mélòó ni gbogbo àwọn ọba tó ti lọ ta rí of recent, mélòó náà kó lọ́nà ẹ̀, àwọn àgbààgbà wa, you know, mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n try láti set ara wọn up fáwọn ọmọ wọn. Mo wo television program kan ní last week tí kan náà àwọn àgbààgbà wa sọ pé òun mú grandson òun lọ bá ààrẹ. So kí lèmi rí sí, ó ti ń position, kàkà kó gbé wàhálà Yorùbá sórí, kó gbé lọ bá rẹ̀, wọ́n position ara wọn, position àwọn ọmọ wọn. Tẹ́ bá wo judiciary nsìn, àwọn wo ni tó wà Supreme Court gbogbo ẹ̀ and all of that, àwọn àtàwọn ọmọ wọn ló wà ńbẹ̀. Wọ́n position ara wọn, ṣùgbọ́n Sister Yẹmisí sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ọ̀run máa wó, kò ń ṣọ̀ràn ọ̀run èèyàn kan, gbogbo wa ló máa kàn, àtàwọn ọmọ wọn tó rò pé àwọn protect, gbogbo wa ló máa kàn. Ẹ ṣé gan ni.
Thank you very much. I'm going to move forward. As you touched lórí awareness briefly, ó yẹ ká wá sọ lẹ́yìn awareness yẹn, a ti sọ pé ọwọ́ ló ń ṣíwájú ijó. Awareness yẹn ó ní nǹkan tá a tún gbọ́dọ̀ fi ṣe, because kò sí bí ojú ṣe lè kán wa tó, bá a ṣe lè fẹ́ ìgbà tó, bí ikú oríṣiríṣi ìṣẹ̀lẹ̀ tó, nípele a sì gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe. Democracy, wọ́n ní the government of the people, by the people and for the people. Àwọn èèyàn wa, ó dàbí pé gbogbo wa la ti gbà lórí ìkànnì pé wọ́n ní ẹnu níbẹ̀. Àwọn èèyàn wọ́n lẹ́nu níbẹ̀. In time past, one of the things that we discovered was the fact that a fẹ́ fárí lẹ́yìn olórí. Bóyá o fẹ́ bóyá o kọ̀, ó máa kúrò ní Nàìjíríà. Yorùbá nation máa kúrò. We cannot do that. Kò sí civilized society téèyàn ti ń ṣerú ẹ̀. Pé ẹni tó lóun láìkí Nàìjíríà, kẹ́ má negotiate pẹ̀lú ẹ̀. ẹni tó fẹ́ restructuring kẹ́ má bá sọ̀rọ̀ ká dẹ̀ ti make announcement wípé a ti lọ o a ti gbà o so pẹ̀lú nǹkan tá a sọ nípa awareness nísìnyí ǹjẹ́ lẹ́yìn tá a bá tiẹ̀ ṣe awareness ẹ̀ ǹjẹ́ kò ṣe dandan wípé ìwé òfin ilẹ̀ Yorùbá the constitution gbọ́dọ̀ fún wa ní provision kí àwọn èèyàn lè sọ àwọn aṣojú àti ìtàn tí ṣe sẹ́yìn o so that at least people will be able to have òfin tó gbà wọ́n láàyè nínú referendum tó máa sọ yes or no a fẹ́ lọ tó bá jẹ́ ìjọba tó wà ńbẹ̀ lénìí tó jẹ́ tọmọ Yorùbá kò ṣe fún ìran Yorùbá nìkan gbogbo ẹ̀yà yòókù ní Nàìjíríà náà làwọn fẹ́ lọ Middle Belt are saying it Igbos are saying it Yoruba are saying it it now appear as if bí ìgbà tó yẹ pé wọ́n kó ṣẹ́kẹ́ṣẹkẹ̀ sí wa lọ́wọ́ lẹ́nu níbẹ̀ is obey my last command and as long as we are experiencing this there will be resistance as we find in Igbo land tí Yorùbá ò tí bẹ̀rẹ̀ we are the nation of wet here tó bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ anarchy ti wọ̀ lónìí ẹ̀ ǹjẹ́ kò tásìkò tó yẹ pé all Yoruba activists self-determination activists ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní lobby wípé not minding the fact that this constitution is highly repudiated kó fún wa ní provision for referendum kí lẹ rò Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn what do you think?
Okay, màá bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú pé màá sọ fún yín pé a ṣe awareness kankan. Màá dẹ̀ sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn láti fi challenge position yẹn pé a ṣe awareness. Mo mọ question tẹ̀ bí mi bọ̀ mo fẹ́ ní ìtọ́ síbẹ̀ ni. Now kí ni awareness kankan báwo la ṣe define awareness? Nǹkan tá a ṣe ni pé a fẹ́ máa lọ. Okay, ẹ fẹ́ máa lọ. Kí ló dé tẹ́ fi bẹ́ẹ̀ fi máa lọ? Okay, bóyá everybody mọ answer yẹn. Okay, awareness does not stop at wípé okay àmọ̀rí níta fẹ́ fi lọ. Awareness ó include wípé okay báwo la ṣe fẹ́ lọ. Awareness ó include wípé nígbà wo la fẹ́ lọ. Awareness ó include wípé ibo là ń lọ. So metaphorically we are going to another land. Kí ni promise tó wà ní land yìí? So that fẹ́ ṣe awareness and láti include why, how, where, when. Why nìkan la ṣe ń sọ fáwọn èèyàn. So yẹn ò kì í ṣe awareness. Instead ká ṣe nǹkan in such a way tó jẹ́ pé ká máa sọ fúnra pé we are all together in a democratic manner. Ṣe yẹn ò kì í ṣe awareness. Ẹ gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń sọ nípa constitution ṣe báyìí. Constitution is only a document of the people. Ṣé rántí pé a ṣe constitutional force majeure bíbí whatever tán pè é. Èmi á sọ pé ó fail nísìnyí because we don't have the numbers because a ṣe awareness tó máa fún wa ní numbers. So a ti ṣe awareness kankan. It's just saying to people pé we are going. Emphasize why ta fi ń lọ kẹ educate àwọn èèyàn pé why ta fi ń lọ lílé yìí. Sọ fún àwọn èèyàn pé okay methodology ta máa lò lélẹ̀ yìí is it political is it diplomatic ṣé war la fẹ́ jà ṣàfẹ́ sùn lọ ni àbí a fẹ́ forí rìn lọ ni àbí a fẹ́ tẹsẹ̀ rìn lọ ni declare yẹn so ibo ni awareness náà lọ. It is more than just saying we are going. We have to tell people kí ni nǹkan tó wà lórí promised land tá a fẹ́ gbé wọn lọ. Báwo la ṣe máa sọ ipa táwọn máa play níbẹ̀? Are they part of the movement? So definitely, èmi á challenge position yẹn pé a ṣe awareness. Màá sọ fún pé a ṣe awareness because it is not complete. It is not even practical. And it's half-hearted. So I ti ṣe awareness. Until táwọn èèyàn bá jókòó serious-minded people bá jókòó gbogbo question tá à ń béèrè yìí wọ́n á ti béèrè lọ́wọ́ ara wọn kàn máa feed ẹ̀ sáwa ni. But we failed to do that. So, share awareness. Issue.
I think that question,
Kini question.
Instrument. Share awareness. Color to share awareness. Because Omanika Foko Kokoyamiji, let's assume party to share awareness. Say, laying awareness, ìjẹ́ it roadblock. Bàbá ṣe awareness tán. Tó jẹ́ pé òfin ilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà wà láò wa láti lè sọ̀rọ̀ síta. Because the constitution is saying, obey my last command. This is the way it's got to be. There's no clause.
But reason Moshe mentioned constitution force majeure on
yes.
Which is a case of this document
not. That what is being as far as the Fulani man in power at the time do not even consider that. So it's like somebody getting married. The Nigerian constitution is like somebody getting married and said, there's no room for divorce.
Exactly.
So, kí a máa lobby àwọn politicians wa, at least one àwọn represent wa, but we need those in the upper house, the legislative arms of government, to ensure that regardless of the fact that the constitution is highly repudiated and some group in time past declare a constitutional force majeure, if this is what you're using to swear yourself in, it must be good enough for the people to have the say through the same instrument. A fair referendum clause. Is it not time for us to start lobbying? So,
if the problem we did not attempt to get a consensus. About talking over and over. Without political power, you do nothing. If challenge constitution, there's so many directions that we challenge constitution. You don't challenge constitution by any numbers, any political numbers. If engage our politicians, and that engage from very different directions. Lori constitution, kini contact to what, kini connection, kini link to what the people and the actual legislature, which is the first line. When you want to deal with government, in a sense. Have we ever tried not to educate and when you have to sit your representatives down and give them orders? This is the best way to move it. Where's the inclusion? Can you part citizens play? Who is listening to you? So until Tabaja from that direction, in such a way to you hold your members of parliament responsible or kill and pay until you go nowhere. The constitution means nothing lower Hawaii. In fact, it's as good as false because nobody is following it. Security system is getting worse by the day. So, can you I don't know. Special people who need the right argument. Let's share. It takes action. Concerted effort. So consult rhetoric there's no action there. Unless it's the intellect, unless it's the sophistication, unless it's the effort. In conclusion, one day to work. And what is this? Consensus, numbers, political power, political capital. But value building, our people are so used to that must say awala one day.
Let's share.
But about no, it doesn't work like that. In Kotani, like to refuse gone here.
Yep. Thank you very much. Mrs. Popola, over to you.
Wow. I could listen to Amotekun for days. Well done, my brother. You did it justice. Wow. Is it not time to lobby for referendum? Cherry Kiniye, multi-layered.
Referendum plus. the clause in the Constitution.
Oh, in the
we can't lobby for what the law doesn't make provision for.
Okay. And I suppose that is why the issue of force majeure came in.
That's right.
Tí o bá fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan step by step, tí o bá wò, ṣe rí that force majeure ó yẹ kó take effect without us even needing to ask for the clause. In a sensible country, tó mọ̀ pé a military ni ó fi constitution yìí ló fi rẹ́ gbogbo ìlú jẹ, ló constitute tàdé sì continue láti 1999. Ìlú tó bá fẹ́ràn àwọn èèyàn ẹ̀ tó rí pé gbogbo nǹkan is going south, ìlú yẹn á wá nǹkan ṣe sí. They've been tinkering around with it. Amendment here, amendment there, and all of that. But about our amendments here is to favor certain people. They're not genuine amendments. So we should start from scratch. Emi ò buy clause because I think clause is just going to fix a very small aspect of our problems. I think what should happen is we can't tear the whole thing to shreds and rewrite it. Ejo, your common background, you want don't disturb. I want to tear apart me. The plea to your cache ni pé fún ààrẹ Bola Ahmed ni kó béèrè fún the review of the Constitution, a total overhaul of the Constitution, not a clause. Because the clause is just going to lead you to maybe even not, to going for referendum. And that has its own issue by itself. It's an overhaul of that Constitution, la need. But we're in a democracy now. We're not in the military rule. And therefore, based on that democracy, our Constitution must be democratic. That is the essence of the whole thing. But because I observe, kò sígbà tẹ́ bá rí President Tinubu, kẹ́ má rí àwọn àmì lẹ́yìn. I'm like, what is this? This is a democracy. You don't need them to be behind him to do what? To guard him? Which other president do you see in the world of a democratic nature? That is telling us something. I don't know about anybody else, whether you've picked that up, but that certainly is sending the wrong message, that somehow military is visible and therefore they're in a position of authority in a democratic country. Ìtorí ẹnìkan ṣe ló lè gbójú gbọ́yà láti máa sọ fún Sanwó-Olú pé ọmọ àmì lòun. Number one, ó wọ uniform, so mi wá mọ bó ṣe fẹ́ mọ̀ ẹ́. Number two, kí ló ń ṣe out of barracks, going the wrong way. So if we're saying the clause is just a very minor aspect of the bigger problem that we have. It's almost like èèyàn fẹ́ hurt èèyàn fẹ́ ṣe nǹkan kan fún elephant, ó wá mú tó ẹ̀. Something as magnificent and gigantic as that, you now want to take a toe out of it. You're just kidding yourself. You're not dealing. Òwe kan wà tó sọ pé kíní kan àfi làpálàpá sílẹ̀, a máa rán nǹkan mi, ẹjọ́ ẹ̀yin èèyàn mi tó ṣe bí òwe ẹ bá mi sọ. That's it. Thank you. That is what I see the clause to be. We're not dealing with the issue at the root cause. The root cause is the Constitution must come down. The force majeure must be activated rightly. We should not be fearful Neither should the government be fearful. To activate it, I mean the end of me. But imagine you're doing it for your nation. You are doing it for your nation, not for yourself. And it does not have to lead to chaos. If you do it rightly, it's been done all over the world by many countries. You can learn the lessons from that. You can bring together people to tell you how to do it in a very logical, sensible, diplomatic way of doing it. Clause, I'm sorry, no clause. It's just a waste of time. Because what the clause will do is there is an argument with the clause now. Àwọn èèyàn kan sọ self-determination. Àwọn èèyàn kan sọ restructuring. Ṣebí lẹ́tà ni àwọn leaders, group leaders of Southwest, Southeast, Middle East, middle belt, náà kọ sí President Tinubu during this season. Tí wọ́n béèrè fún restructuring. So where referendum to answer what question? Is it restructuring? Is it self-determination? Or is it what? So there is confusion everywhere. First thing first, bring the constitution down. Let's rewrite it to favor everybody. And to be honest with you, when you rewrite it, you would find that the arguments tí gbogbo wa ní hopefully would dissipate. Because all those minds will come together to write what will function for them. It could become the United States of Nigeria, where each arm of Nigeria, Yoruba land, is standing by itself with its own sovereignty. And we're just united within the AU as well. And just having the structure there to support Africans. Because we have to think beyond ourselves now. We have to think about Africa as a whole. So the building block is Yoruba nation, maybe United States of Nigeria, maybe ECOWAS, maybe AU, and so on and so forth. But something must give, and that is the Constitution.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Sherry, the beauty of being Yoruba is the fact that Kokunrin region, Koberewa, Karushomo de Kidima, Karu Dimasho, Kidimati Bufu. And I want to state this. Next. One of the biggest problems we have as Yoruba people, some of our biggest problems, that we're generous, we're hospitable, we're kind-hearted, and we're very liberal. In all you enunciated, you were fair in your postulations. But if there's anything I think we don't consider is the fact that there are people who don't buy that. They've never bought that. Only the hall in the Igbo land in the south belongs to them. Their grandfather promised them this is there. So the constitution I expect Yoruba part of thinking Yoruba first. Did you be a niku? Ogbon onloju agbára ro. Ológbò tó sùn bí ọ̀lẹ Yorùbá ní nǹkan tó máa jẹ. Òun ló ń wá. I heard an Igbo man say, but Tinubu wà ńbẹ̀, èmi ló kàn. Street ruggedness was part of the reason he became the government, the president. He was rugged. Ó ti dé tó bá lè yà kó yà o. Some of the things he was talking about, you see, would Bola have done that? Would Babawolo have said those things? And somebody said, but don't be, but okay, but boy, big battalion, I don't know and I'm not aware. It's a theory. You can share Jacko no shit here, Akurombe. Tabaso, that's okay, Nick Bagba, Ibi Pelebe. Loma Bossi, ọ̀nà kan ò wọjà ní Yorùbá sọ. Ṣé kò yẹ ká ṣe bí ọ̀bọ ká lè mú ọ̀bọ? If a president can be sworn in to that faulty instrument, are we fighting for Nigeria? Would we ever be able to fight for Nigeria to have a good constitution? Ṣé wọ́n máa dúró? Aso Rock, we assume, is the seat of power, but it's a Sokoto. We need to consider that. Many things tá a lè sọ lórí ìkànnì, but mo fi pé ó tásìkò ká máa lo àwọn òwe àti àṣà Yorùbá bá wa. Ẹni tó sùn sílẹ̀, wọ́n ní what do you call it? Wípé ológbò tó sùn bí ọ̀lẹ, ohun tó máa jẹ ló ń wá o. Yíyọ ejò, yíyọ ẹkùn kì í ṣe tójó. So, constitution is good enough. And Tabani, as a constitutional force majeure, even that is faulty on itself. Self-determination did that. Restructuring did not do that. Those who wanted the status quo were not part of it.
Hello, Ekaro.
Ejo, the key thing, tension. So my position will be for us to nǹkan tó wà lọ́wọ́ wọn tó ń lò nísìnyí, ẹ wo millions, constitution tí ò dá yẹn ló fún wọn ní millions ọ̀nà, òun náà fi ṣe contract with nations of the world. If it's good for them, it should be good for the Yoruba people to get what kápẹ́ wòlé lọ́kọ ìyàwó. Làwọn bàbá wa sọ. Ká bá wọn ronú pé ilé yóò dá o ṣe kíní kan ó yẹ kí yẹn dópin. Ká wá roko, wọ́n tó bá fún wèrè lọ́kọ́ mà, ọ̀dọ̀ rẹ̀ ló máa roko sí. So with the bad constitution, let's see what will represent our own interest. United States, very noni. At the moment with this constitution, they're still able to bribe even our own legislators. They'll buy them. They won't represent us. They represent their own pocket. But àwọn kan tí ó yẹ pé ọ̀rọ̀ gbénu ọmọ ènìyàn fọhùn. Bọ́yìn màmá àti bàbá lẹ ní ká máa fọ̀rọ̀ síkùn bí àgbà. Torí ẹni kì í ṣe gbogbo aṣọ la máa sá lóòrùn ọ̀nà kan wọjà. So clause yẹn ó nídìí kí Ọlọ́run má jẹ́ kí èṣù ṣe wá. Wá gbàdúrà kí èṣù ṣe àwọn ọ̀tá wa. Ẹ jẹ́ kí Sister Yẹmisí náà. Sister Yẹmisí. Ṣé àbí mọ́mì ṣe ní nǹkan tẹ́ fẹ́ dá sí? Ṣé sì fẹ́ sọ?
Ẹ rí nǹkan tẹ́ sọ nípa clause yẹn ó nídìí. Á nídìí fáwọn tó mọ̀ á nídìí. Ṣùgbọ́n kò sí àsìkò mọ́. Kò sí àsìkò tá a bá rò pé a ní 4 years, a ní 7 years tí Tinubu bá padà. 7 years, 7.5, maybe even. Ìyẹn ò tó to put in the clause, because the bá process of reviewing the constitution, it would take him to the next election. I should be the same senators and House of Reps, same people, not only one. It would drag it to the point that it would take him to the next election. And which government wants to have something like that hanging over them going into the next election? That is why this tenure, tó ń ṣe lọ́wọ́ yìí, ló yẹ kó bring it down. This tenure. Because the next time, in this tenure, he only has 2 years before Koto to bẹ̀rẹ̀ the next election, and all energies will go into the next election. For the next 2 years, after the 2 years, that's the next election. Tó bá win nìyẹn, another 2 years ló tún ní before then. They can play the game. Ṣé báwọn náà wà ní assembly, National Assembly gbogbo ẹ̀. The process itself, gone, sabotage for that clause not to work. for the timing not to work. So the first major, not let it activate, because that in itself is a legal thing. It's okay, Afenifere was not part of it. It doesn't matter. You don't need everybody to be part of this, because what they're asking for through the first major is not something to makpa Afenifere lara. It would enhance their own quest for freedom. So, and that is why I'm saying we need clarity of thoughts, and let's think big. We can't think small because of the process of elections, and therefore what we should be asking for is, when are you going to activate this, force majeure?
Thank you. Sherry, Professor Nipati, you made a point. Ó funny wípé àwọn tí rò pé ó interest wọn ní constitutional force majeure yẹn wà fún. There will be those that will file an application in court to oppose it. Àwọn ìjọba tá à ń sọ ló máa sponsor wọn pé sí báyìí. Number one, tán láti understand the way the system in Nigeria work. Bó ṣe ń ṣiṣẹ́, ẹni tó polè ló wá jà ló máa polóko kó wá mú. Somebody said it before the election, Tinubu máa wọlé. No president has ever lost the presidential election. Agbèfọ́ba ń jẹ̀bi. So, but mo sorry mi ò fẹ́ kó má dàbí ẹni pé èmi ló yẹ kí n máa fi question sí kí n máa fi. Sister Yemisi, ó dọwọ́ yín, ẹ̀yin náà sọ ti yín mà.
Nǹkan tí èmi kàn fẹ́ sọ nípa constitution yìí ni pé ṣé mọ́mí wa kan wọ́n ṣẹ̀ sọ̀rọ̀ nípa Afẹ́nifẹ́re. Èmi máa béèrè question lọ́wọ́ wọn, ṣé wọ́n really fẹ́ wá fẹ́re? One, because àwọn ọmọ wọn ń kú, ebi ń pa àwọn ọmọ kéékèèké, wọ́n sókè gàrí fún 3 days, ọmọ kéékèèké ń jẹun, and àwọn bàbá yìí sì tún ní gut láti máa pera wọn ní Afẹ́nifẹ́re. I don't think so. I do not think so. So, to be fair on Baba wa Tinubu, ṣé our so-called elders, ṣé àwọn ti lọ bá wọn? Torí anything tó bá fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀, ìgbà tán mú Nnamdi Kanu, àwọn àgbààgbà Ìgbò, wọ́n kóra wọn jọ, wọ́n lọ bá Bọ̀dá Sùlù. Àwọn ti Middle Belt, wọ́n kóra wọn jọ, they did the same. Yorùbá, ìgbà tí wọ́n tẹ̀ sọ pé Sunday wà ní Kútọ̀nù, mi rò pé ó ní Yorùbá elder kankan tó dìde sí. So now we are talking about constitution. Is there any one of our elders tó ti pé Tinubu tí ò ṣe pé Ghana must go ló gbé dání o, tó ti lọ bá pé ọmọ wa ni, Ọlọ́run ti jẹ́ kó o ṣe, o ti wà ń bẹ̀ ń sìn, ẹ̀yin ló kàn, ó dẹ̀ ti kàn yín náà nìyẹn. Yorùbá land is suffering. There is too much blood in Yoruba land. People are hungry, children are dying. Ṣé constitution yìí, ṣé kò sí nǹkan kan tó lè ṣe ń pẹ̀? Ká tiẹ̀ mọ̀ pé a fẹ́ mọ̀ bí tá à ń lọ. Like ọ̀rọ̀ awareness or no awareness. I could remember when the seat was really, really hot. Táwọn tó máa parọ́ pa máa gbà ní December nígbà tá a wà ní 15th of December. Tóníkálukú àwọn prediction lọ rẹpẹtẹ. Àwọn kan náà wà nínú igbó tán ní ìṣẹ̀ṣe ni wọ́n, àwọn lè sọ pé kí Ọlọ́run sọ̀kalẹ̀ k'Ọlọ́run máa bọ̀. Àwọn prophet and prophetess, wọ́n rí ojú ọ̀run tó ń gbé manna bọ̀ ní Yorùbá land. Everybody was saying whatever they want to say. Àtiró àtòótọ́, we still here. So now, ọmọ wa ni ó ti ń ṣe. Ìgbà tí Buhari wà bẹ́ oroko sí ọ̀dọ̀ ààrẹ, Buhari show wá pé òun ò kì í ṣọmọ àlè, pé ọmọ jàgúdíjàgan làwọn máa ń gbalẹ̀ onílẹ̀ kiri ni. Ó show wá, ó fi hàn wá, a rí ajé amú. Náà títí wa tó jẹ́ pé ọmọlúàbí ni wá, then a kàn lè máa pariwo bóyá constitution àbí kinní kan màjọ. A need láti bá sọ̀rọ̀ pé kí ni help wo nìwọ náà fẹ́ ṣe fún wa, because tẹ́ ẹ bá ní gbogbo ẹ̀ dáa fún yín sìn tí gbogbo ẹ̀ ń jọ́líjọ́lì tí àwọn kan ń pe bàbá sà kinní kan torí Ghana must go. Ẹ rántí pé èèyàn ni bàbá wa Awólọ́wọ̀ ó lo àṣìrántí ẹ̀. Ọba tó bá jẹ tó ṣe dáadáa à rántí, eléyìí tó bá tún ṣe eléyìí tí ò dáa náà gbogbo ẹ̀ náà la máa rántí. So because tá a bá sọ fún wọn, wọ́n lè máa, because ẹrù ti pọ̀ jù lórí desk wọn. He might not even think about that. Èèyàn kan náà ló máa rán wọn létí pé wá bí o constitution tá à ń lò yìí, we are not an army as in ministry era, we are in democracy. Even though our democracy is crazy, kí ni nǹkan tí ó fẹ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ń sìn? Because we are not kò sí nǹkan kan tó ń jẹ́ democracy Nàìjíríà. Fẹ́ láti sọ ó ní democracy ló wà Nàìjíríà. We are really crazy. Because ìwà tó yẹ pé ìlú tó yẹ pé ẹni tó bá ti lówó nìkan ló lè sọ̀rọ̀. Me and one of my friends, she's a custom, ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ kan tó yẹ pé ńgbà mi ó máa sọ̀rọ̀ ńgbà mi ara pé kí n fọ etí ẹ̀ fún ipe òun ò lè gbé ìlú yín yẹn o, òun ò lè gbé abroad ní Nàìjíríà tó ń bá gbá ọlọ́pàá létí owó ló máa jẹ. Mo ní o lè gbọ́ ọlọ́pàá létí because they are useless too, they want money. So èmi tẹ́lẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ kó gbà ń létí tóun kò lè rówó gbà. There's no constitution Nigeria. Constitution no lè tó favour àwọn kan òun ló wà. It's not bóyá ká má parọ́ túnra wa jẹ. Kò sí nǹkan kan tó work ní Nàìjíríà tó bá ti mọ̀yàn. So ẹ má jẹ́ á sọ̀rọ̀ nípa constitution láì jẹ́ pé wọ́n rí àwọn àgbà tó máa lọ bá bàbá yẹn pé ṣé constitution àwọn àbókì náà la ṣì máa lò lọ títí tó fi máa gba gbogbo ilẹ̀ wa lọ́wọ́ wa, àbí ẹ máa bá wa wá bí wọ́n ṣe máa change ẹ̀. And ọ̀rọ̀ màá tún come back a little bit, just 1 minute màá stop nsìn nípa awareness wa. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn ní pé a kò sí awareness wà kò tún sí, because I could remember Baba Aliu, he was doing awareness, but awareness táwọn ń ṣe awareness pé a fẹ́ gba ilẹ̀ wa. The awareness tá a need nsìn ni pé ìdí tí a fi fẹ́ kúrò ní àbókí constitution, ìdí tí ó fi sú everybody. Kò sí èèyàn kan tó wà Nàìjíríà tó bá ti ṣe politician ò jẹun yó mọ́. Ọmọ tí o ti jẹun náà ń ṣe ń sìn kò sí bóyá o ti yó. Ṣọmọ tó tiẹ̀ sókè gàrí ló fẹ́ béèrè pé ṣó yó. So ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ mú láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, kí wọ́n kọ́kọ́ béèrè lọ́wọ́ olórí wa pé ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe tún máa lo ìgbà tí yín ìrètí constitution yẹn náà tún máa wà, because God forbid bad thing, God forbid bad thing, God forbid bad thing. Tí bàbá ìbá kúrò ní orí oyè, Ọlọ́run á fún wọn ní ẹ̀mí gígùn tó á fi lè ṣe bóyá for 8 years tó fẹ́ ṣe whichever one tọ́lọ́run bá fún wọn láyè láti ṣe. Tó bá kúrò pẹ́rẹ́, ìyà ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí Yorùbá land ni o. Mo ń sọ àwọn èèyàn kan sọ ọ̀rọ̀ Tinubu, èmi ò ṣépè fún, àdúrà ni máa ń gbà fún. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣe ọ̀tá Tinubu, nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Afghanistan ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní Nàìjíríà, because Shettima olórí àwọn Boko Haram ló máa jẹ president. So I'm praying for Tinubu kí nǹkan kan má ṣẹlẹ̀ sí, nǹkan burúkú má ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. So a ní láti béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ ń ṣe tí wọ́n ní kéèyàn make cakes when the sun shines. So a ní láti kọ́kọ́ béèrè ká tó ṣe máa debate nípa constitution, because we all know that the constitution is not bad, it's not good, it's there. The àwọn military wọ́n ti ń lò fún wa for ages, ló ń kọ̀ sí ìyà fún wa. So we need to go back to our democracy. Bó ti ẹ̀ pé ó ṣì ń crazy lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́, a fẹ́ constitution àbókí mọ́. Ẹ ṣé.
Ẹ ṣé Sister Yemisi, thank you. Mo confession kọ́kọ́ sí nǹkan tí Sister Yemisi sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, mo mọ̀ pé ẹ̀yin gan kò ṣe position yín ni wípé kárí àwọn àgbàlagbà èmi ò fi pé àgbàlagbà ó ní the different definition in Yoruba land àti ṣe program lórí yẹn in the past and òwe Yorùbá jẹ́ ká mọ̀ wípé a máa ń lóyún àgbà sínú tí ọmọdé rìn nílẹ̀. So basically wọ́n fi yẹn sọ wípé age kọ́ ni àgbàlagbà in certain circumstances and ìgbà míì wà tí wọ́n máa ń sọ pé owó lẹ̀gbọ́n ọmọ làbúrò so ó lè jẹ́ owó nígbà míì. So oríṣiríṣi depending on whatever situation we find ourselves la máa ní àgbà tó wà láàrin wa lélẹ̀. So but nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ sọ níbi pé àwọn tó bá máa lọ rí Tinubu age kọ́ ló máa determine yẹn. Awolowo, when he went to Lancaster House, he was an elder, but they were young men. Akinjide, Dr. Molulululo, they were federal ministers. They were young people in their 20s. Gowon was a young man, and he was Agba. So, in my private conversation, mo fi pé tó bá jẹ́ nítọ́jú orí ni èmi náà ti wọ́pọ̀ àgbà. Torí pẹ̀lú oore ọ̀fẹ́ Ọlọ́run, nǹkan tó wà ní ọkàn ní ojú wa ìlúbọ́ kọ́ la dà sí. But ibi tí a bá ti wá ń pòṣàn tí àwọn ọmọ wa tí àwọn ẹgbẹ́ wa bá ti ní grandchildren àti àgbà nìyẹn. So but a fẹ́ àwọn tó ní ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ òye tán dẹ̀ jẹ́ olùfarasìn olùfọkànsìn olùfẹ́ Yorùbá. Àwọn yẹn mo fi pé ó ṣe pàtàkì ká máa identify wọn. Àwọn yẹn ló lè represent wa. But mo rí pé ọwọ́ ẹ̀rọ ti máa ro brother wa Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. So màá fẹ́ kí wọ́n sọ.
I can correct yín kí brother wa tó sọ̀rọ̀. Àwọn àgbà tí mo mean like you said, I don't mean àwọn àgbà onírùngbọ̀n funfun.
Irú àwọn tèmi wà.
Mo mean àwọn àgbà tó ní common sense, àwọn àgbà tó mọ òye, tó mọ̀ pé yà ń jẹ àwọn èèyàn. Kò ń ṣe àwọn àgbà àyà. Ẹ mọ̀ pé a ní àgbà rẹ̀ tún lágbà àyà.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
Àfẹ́ àgbà àyà àwọn àgbà gidi. Ó lè jẹ́ ọmọ 30 years ló lọ́gbọ́n lórí ju ọmọ 90 years lọ. So mi ò mean ni pé bóyá àgbà because tá bá ní ká sọ àgbà gidi ẹ pé àwọn àgbà tá bá sọ àgbà tarúgbó ní àgbà arúgbó mọ́ ní Nàìjíríà ní Yorùbá land because wọ́n ti disappoint wa so many times. Àgbà tẹ́mi ń sọ̀rọ̀ ń pẹ̀ ń sìn ní àwọn àgbà tán ní common sense, àwọn àgbà tán lóye, tán ní bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run. That's what I'm saying.
Èmi mọ̀ pé ẹ sọ pé igbá wo ìjàwó lọ mo mọ̀ yẹn. So thank you. Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn, over to you.
Ẹ ṣeun. Mo kàn fẹ́ sọ ọkọ̀ tó máa wà contentious díẹ̀ bákan. Ṣé wọ́n pé clause tá à ń sọ yìí, clause wọ́n fẹ́ fi sínú constitution yẹn wọ́n fi síbẹ̀. Ó dẹ̀ wà conspicuous, everybody ló lè rí, but for some reason náà àfẹ́ try láti identify ẹ̀. Okay, ṣé secular state la wà? A sọ pé yes, secular state la wà. 1999 kẹ́ tó mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀, wọ́n gbé theocratical section. Mi fẹ́ sọ the actual religion. Wọ́n kì í bọnú constitution. Àdẹ̀rẹ́ nìkan kan kó sọ̀rọ̀ pé báwo lè ṣe fit pẹ̀lú secular state. Now, whether we like it or not, nǹkan tó embolden náà láti decide pé àwọn fẹ́ ṣe sharia nìyí. How did we allow that? And this is not to kind of like diminish or demean any religion. No. Nǹkan tó bá tọ́, ìka tó bá tọ́ sínú la fi ń rù. Tá bá sọ pé secular state ni wá, why ta fi deviate from that principle? So clause ti wà ń bẹ̀ nìyẹn. Na nígbà tó máa di kó máa wà active, wọ́n lo àwọn clause yẹn, wọ́n lo allowance tó wà ń bẹ̀ láti decide wípé okay o, we will take your money but we don't want your trade. Wọ́n ní choice nìyẹn, ìyẹn gan lásán. The use of the constitution, nǹkan lọ́ fi sínú constitution láti rí ìlú yẹn, ó ti abdicate kúrò nínú agreement wa nìyẹn. If you keep saying pé secular state ni wá. So ó ti indicate wa already wípé wọ́n ṣe constitution yẹn láti fi tẹ́ra wọn lọ́rùn, láti fi defeat wa, and láti fi principles sínú àwọn kan wípé expansion tẹ́ fẹ́ ṣe yẹn o, it is allowed. So clause 1B, okay, favor our con, or the favor our con. Because whatever is okay, in combat by is allowed. SC Kibo our con lori we can do what is permissible within the scriptures. To one leg. Mo wà careful láti má sọ̀rọ̀ tán. Everybody and somebody.
Yeah.
That little change from secularity to theocratical whatever factor to one way. Iagon is the cloth on its own, and it's working for them.
What is good
and
for the
it's
goose?
working mighty against our. So they want our money, but they don't want our trade. And rather, because we are returning, what destroy it. Gbogbo yẹn wà indicative. Or then I'll check what about it. And from all angles, one shade. I mean, you go to the parliament. Tinubu does not have total power. Or after change constitution. Kini power Tinubu need last if you order National Assembly, last rewrite constitution. Because see, because I know the majority already. And even with that majority, one bit line the majority once you go because come as if one bag we are done.
That's correct.
So at the end of the day, we're between the rock and the deep blue sea. The only thing we have we can focus in by la fechi. Kama funa wali excuse, kama funa wali fear, kama what decisive. It's only going to be drawing us back. And you can focus really in contact. And the right intelligence in a kulukalu running lototo. Who think of Tinubu le ṣe unless we have the numbers. Numbers. So in got to first
Thank you very much. Mrs. Pukola Moripeno, okay. Dr. Yufule. Only eno agbalo bitimbo tí Mrs. Pukola will be back to return and you look on.
Thank you very much, Barrister, for giving me the opportunity to come back again.
Thank you.
This is exactly the reason why for me, it's not the clause. For me, it's bringing down that constitution. That should be our focus. And Kini Dear Timotushe saw, again, just to buttress what I've said. Sherry Tabate, if he closed, paraventure pé wọ́n gbà pé Tinubu wọ́n listen sí ní Senate àti House of Rep and all of that pé àwọn á ṣe nǹkan tó fẹ́ káwọn ṣe àwọn á fi clause sínú ẹ̀ pé kí wọ́n gbà kí a ṣe referendum. The result of the referendum is not certain with the structure that we or the structure that we don't have in Nigeria. And what do I mean by the structure? In terms of how many people are in Nigeria gonna? Because we haven't got the census. We don't know who is going to be voting. We don't know these people. Answer of PVC. How many people only? How many people? No 9-year-old, 2-year-old, 3-year-old, Tony PVC. We don't have the structure to even support a full referendum at this point. That's a challenge that I want to put to everybody that's thinking about the clause.
Thank you.
We must get that structure right. Number 2, referendum result. Government does not have to accept it. They can say no. The focus should be get this constitution changed. We don't want it. It's not us. It was not put together by us. Put together every representative of the indigenous people and get them to draw up a referendum that favors everybody. And what we want is self-determination. We're leaving. We want to leave. That is what we want. We want to leave. Get us into a position where we have a transition period of how do we leave this place. that we do not longer want to be part of. Because I think it's a red herring.
Thank you. Thank you. Sherry Nkotesho, I'm sorry, Dr. Ifule. Nkotesho, Ambassador Lijadu, Lijadu. I think without taking time, mo fẹ́ kẹ́ wo àwọn submission tó make lórí chat room nípa kí lorúkọ ẹ̀. And wọ́n ní tọ́rọ̀ bá le koko bí ojú ẹja, àwọn àgbà fi iyè dénú. And àwọn kọ́kọ́ àti mi ò lè sọ lórí ìkànnì yìí tí wọ́n pè but ẹ̀ka kẹ́ wo nǹkan tí wọ́n sọ. Then nípa nǹkan tí ẹ sọ briefly nísìnyí. The reason that man sọ àwọn nǹkan tó bá ẹ̀ka sọ́nbẹ̀ nítorí àwọn tó bá máa wò later pé both way ká lè balance tàn sọ. Nípa ti censor, if we have the clause, let me say, if we're able to conduct a referendum, let's even leave the clause or maybe brand new constitution aside. The census that we need to be concerned about is within Yoruba land, our states. It is now incumbent on Yoruba people. Come up with to register our money. But the Shimashi or one Yamawa. But she's in Scotland and to Scottish Nissen. To Masok only right to vote in Scotland. And the process of allow it to Fimashi. So Mofi Putuba Debi in confession for abundance of doubt. We pay if we have the opportunity, if our people have the opportunity to say yes or no in a referendum, should we remain in something like, should we remain in Nigeria? Is it restructuring that we want? It can be 3 questions. And once you tabulate later, the acceptance or non-acceptance of it, I deal with it later. Only to give our Wolugi to Korea no Kokongwe. So, clarification to more. I mean, let me say my input to what was said. Dr. Ifule, over to you.
Thank you. I was beginning to think of myself as a seat warmer.
Well, nǹkan tán sọ wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá máa parí ẹjọ́ kọ́ ló kọ́kọ́ ń tò. Ẹnu àgbà ló bí tí ń gbòòsà.
Ẹjọ́ yóò lè ṣe parí lénìí. Let's be realistic. This is a conversation for many, many, many times. You see, when I go back to the last question before Nipa awareness, you see, you probably forgot to call me to answer that question.
Go ahead, sir.
Look, awareness, one single thing. Awareness. No, awareness is not one single thing. There are many, many levels to awareness. Awareness. Keeping in mind,
what's your block? And Emma, sorry, sir.
Thank you. Awareness that you tell her, achieve some things, but we achieve what I'm fair. So we must go back to the drawing table. Reassessing what I shake our successes, Tani. If it the affair law are issues, like Amotekun rightly said, we need to draw that roadmap towards Ibita eventually fair law. But it's not a one sitting endeavor. One sitting endeavor, like she tell you, and we now know at least 90% of our Yoruba people here got answer. So we need to try to sit down, look at this, whatever success Tani, sit down and reassess whatever success is, it is TTTT in a way that might need more success towards that awareness. So we must never think about awareness. We awareness. Face caps sorry, t-shirt. No, that's a part of awareness, but there are far more than that, and it's in a conference table of 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever it is. Lama need decision as to what do we do next? Nipa awareness. Nipa the current question, Nipa plebiscite clause. You just have to forgive me. One single.
Wọ́n bá Tinubu sọ̀rọ̀ ni wọ́n máa pẹ̀lú àǹsì. Wọ́n fẹ́ kó fi referendum provision yẹn sí kíákíá.
Inú mi máa dùn tí bá ní irú power yẹn kẹ. I used to, but not anymore. So anyway, going back to the last question, Nipa plebiscite referendum insertion as a clause in the Constitution. Look, I better walk panoramically, this issue, this question, that question is not a yes or no question. Ṣé ó yẹ ká fi referendum clause sí or not? I better wò pé bí spectrum ní nǹkan tá à ń sọ. On far end of the spectrum is restructuring. Tí àwọn bàbá Adébánjọ Baba Inaoro of blessed memory taught his song by. And a lot of our people are back home, overseas, so back home, touching wrong by referendum, touching wrong by restructuring rather. So restructuring is on the far left side. If past referendum or past restructuring, I better plebiscite clause, referendum clause, as an issue by itself. Then on the far right of it will be that constitutional force majeure. Boya constitutional force majeure, yeah, like later on, no. But one could be pelebe, Latimo leje, Yoruba ló ń sọ. Ibi pẹlẹbẹ ni. So tí igi bá dẹ̀ wó lu igi tí orí ẹ̀yẹ la máa kọ́ gbé kúrò náà. So I pay at this point in time ní 2024 January restructuring ni Tinubu ń sọ̀rọ̀ ń pẹ̀. Mi ní pé ó ń sọ o. Kápẹ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ ń sìn ni èèmà support ẹ̀, and we all should support it with the understanding ni pé final goal wa kọ́ yẹ. Bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé one way or the other, a lè jẹ́ kí ó mọ̀ ni pé there must be referendum clause in the Constitution. I don't know how he's going to do it pẹ̀lú àwọn karambani tó jẹ́ tó pọ̀ ní National Assembly. Ó lè jẹ́ pé owó tó fi lè ṣe ni pé kó call census náà, kó call for census. There's some census might take 6 months, 9 months, láti ṣe. Give a 3-month time, ni pé a gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe census of Nigeria. Kó dẹ̀ pé tó bá fẹ́ pé international observers láti wá wò ó, or kí southerners supervise ilé tó wà north, kí north dẹ̀ supervise ilé tó wà south. In other words, can make it as transparently honest as possible, ká lè mọ real number wa. So ká pé yẹn ló fẹ́ ṣe ní ìbádá. But not doing that, he has to find a way láti fi referendum clause sí the Constitution, current Constitution. Even though, like Madam Popola said, mo rò pé Constitution ni kì í ṣe Constitution wa. It's something we need to really totally tear down and bring in a new Constitution. Ṣùgbọ́n in the absence of that, we still have the right as a large ethnic group within Nigeria, and call for constitutional force majeure, which will be our last, the last card. So those are my points.
Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. The last question, Ambassador Nishi, only after the this is not a question but an opinion she expressed. Only after the satisfactory insertion of the referendum provision, we must restart awareness backed by our ability to really exit this time. And with that, the last question here is, in pecking order, do we think making the security of Yoruba land our first priority to run simultaneously with awareness, followed by issue of referendum provision in the Constitution? Should we agree that should be the order? Kashi security Oshe Pataki. Kalawi or lawyer. Security Oshe Pataki. In Kotu She Pataki for Kangoli Losuku or original fishy security Kalawi lawyer. Only Padasoko. Nino no Kademashi at the same time. The next thing to next security is awareness. Become ultimately Louis after that situation. Then the last will be issue that the government of the day. Latin Lifuani Oriofe. Let me say to assess our right to determine our future. Dr. Ifule.
Thank you for giving me that, asking me about that. Yeah, also, security of people, that's what the government is all about. Tomba pa gbogbo wa ton ní Southwest, mélòó ló bá kù láti fún wọn láti govern. I know they were against any human law in any part of the world. Pé kí èèyàn máa pa èèyàn just for the fun of it. Fun of it dẹ̀ ni gbogbo nǹkan tí Fúlàní ṣe yẹn. Wọ́n pé wọ́n fẹ́ gbalẹ̀ ní o, wọ́n fẹ́ decimate wa o, come move into the land o. Nǹkan tó ń ṣe ní Plateau, mo gbọ́ pé tin, aluminum, wọ́n ní pé aluminium, wọ́n ní pé pọ̀ nílẹ̀. Even at the ground level, you could see that, you could see the tin àti aluminum. Wọ́n ní pé lára nǹkan tí àwọn Karambani fi wá síbẹ̀ láti wá destroy wọn ni so that they can move in, wọ́n bá lè claim ilẹ̀ yẹn. Whether that's true or not, ṣùgbọ́n killing them is where the problem is. So security tiwa nílẹ̀ Yorùbá must be our number one problem, number one concern. We must, under no circumstances, láti allow àwọn èèyàn kan wá sí ilẹ̀ wa kan bẹ̀ sí pa wá, but in ṣe so far. On that note, I think Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wọ́n ṣe iṣẹ́ tó yẹ kán ṣe. I know we all praise them. We praise Akere Aketi for spearheading Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. But èmi ò tí ì gbọ́ pé wọ́n pile body of àwọn èèyàn tó ń pa wá sí ibì kan bí bọ́tí ń pile body àwọn tó pa Plateau last week. What are these people still doing on our land? That is $1 million question. What are they still doing in 2024 on our land? Tani Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn. tọ́n bá tiẹ̀ pa wọ́n kó fi ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ṣẹ̀kẹ̀ sí wọn lọ́wọ́ àti lẹ́sẹ̀ kán lọ throw wọn sí jail, sí local jail lọ́dọ̀ wa. How come we've not done that? I know some people say, oh, one kò fẹ́ pariwo síta. Kí ni tó ń pariwo síta? Somebody comes to your land, rape your mother, rape your sister, rape your child, your daughter. Wọ́n dẹ̀ àwọn tó kù wọ́n pa wọ́n. Ẹ̀dẹ̀ ní pé ẹ̀yin fẹ́ pa wọ́n, ẹ̀ fẹ́ pariwo síta. Cowardice of the highest order lè bí pé o. So show us what you have done. So security was the number one. Oh. Security was the number one. Whatever means possible, let's achieve that security. We must do it, including annihilating our enemies. And we're doing that only in self-defense. Number two, mo gbà pé tá bá ti lè secure ara wa ká mọ̀ ní pé wọn ò ní pa wá, àwọn èèyàn wa dẹ̀ lè lọ sóko, oúnjẹ dẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí dé. Mo agree ní pé awareness, and more awareness should be the order of the day. Kì í dẹ̀ ṣe the right type of awareness tá ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀, I'm going to upgrade it, like I said previously. Strategic awareness. In a certain place, what type of awareness are we giving them? And only what to grow beyond that awareness, we give them the next stage. But we need to sit down and plan what we will do at certain time, at certain place. So in awareness, and of course, naturally, self-determination, the ultimate goal. And how can we achieve it? Bóyá tó bá lè tí census bá ṣẹlẹ̀, tí a bá lè succeed kàn fi referendum or plebiscite clause sínú constitution, and in the absence of that, tear down the whole constitution, enforce a very strong force majeure, constitutional force majeure. Ní pé ìgbà yẹn ti dé o, constitution ò bá lára mu o. And if something is not done to give us peace within 2 weeks, within 2 months, within 1 month, so and so will happen. You're not going to force majeure. And I think those are the things we will have to do. So to answer your question, Barrister, the sequence you put down, unless there's any other reason I feel otherwise, or that reason, my listen to that, but without any other reason, mo rò pé irú sequence yẹn gan ló ṣì yẹ ká follow through. Thank you.
Thank you, Eshegon. Ìyálóde, kẹ́yìn náà tó kẹ́ má sọ pé mo jẹ́ kẹ́ wọ́ mu ṣe àwọ̀. Ìyálóde mo lè wà o. Sísá yẹn ni sí.
Ẹ má bínú, kí lẹ sọ, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú.
Kí ni mo sọ? Ibo lẹ ti lọ.
Má bínú, mo sáré bọ̀ níbi tí mo ti lọ, tí mo dúró sí mi.
Okay. A ní order tó yẹ ká follow should be security as a priority for every one of us. And security yẹn a lè combine ẹ̀ pẹ̀lú awareness. Káwọn èèyàn wa mọ̀ wípé ó ṣe pàtàkì. Wípé àwọn náà nǹkan kan wà tó yẹ kí n sọ pẹ̀lú yẹn. Ni wípé Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn and other security outfits ní Yoruba land. Then àwa gangan ká padà sílé. Láyé àtijọ́ wọn máa ń pàlè lé nǹkan. These are some of the things we'll be telling our people. And Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn touched on it. We should not be afraid to be a Yoruba person. We should not be afraid. A lot of people may not believe in it, but try it. Wọ́n máa ń ṣe nǹkan ṣoko tó yẹ pé ẹranko gan ní wọbẹ̀. ẹni bá gbẹ́sẹ̀ sórí ilẹ̀ nílẹ̀ ní Yorùbá wọ́n máa amputate ẹsẹ̀ ẹ̀gbẹ́. So there are things that we have. Fáwọn náà resort sí those things. Ayé sunkún ìyà káàkiri. But the question is, ṣé ó yẹ ká ṣe security yẹn kó jẹ́ major priority? Then kí awareness nípa ìjàngbara pé okay àti ẹ̀ ti ṣe léyìn sìn awareness yìí ó ń lọ side by side pẹ̀lú security yẹn. Then the third one tó jẹ́ top priority wa is referendum provision in the constitution. So kí lẹ́yìn rí sí yẹn?
Nǹkan tẹ́mi rí sí máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti security. Kí ni ìdí tí ìlú fi máa ń ní olórí, tán fi máa ń ní president, minister nǹkankan? Ṣé bí títorí security náà ni? Because tí ò bá sí security, anybody can do and undo. Àmì tí ò bá sí olórí ní ibì kan, inú èèyàn kan lè máa bí mi kí n kàn lọ wá ìbọn AK-99 àbí 1000 kí n get rid ẹ̀. But mo mọ̀ pé tí n bá ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ mi ò ní fara re lọ títorí àwọn olórí kan wà tó ń ṣe dáadáa tó máa mú mi pé mo lọ ọ̀tá mi lọ pààyàn. Now security is the most important nílùú because tí ò bá sí security oúnjẹ máa ṣe ségesège because àwọn tó fẹ́ lọ wá oúnjẹ ẹ̀rù máa bà wọ́n láti jáde. Tí mo bá fẹ́ lọ bí iṣẹ́ sì tẹ́rù bá ń bà mí láti lọ bí iṣẹ́ mo lè máa fóònù sick pé ara mi ò yá mi ò lè wá síbi iṣẹ́ because ẹ̀rù ń bà mí mi ò lè jáde kúrò nílé. So security is the most important, is paramount fún gbogbo nǹkan tá a ti ń sọ látàárọ̀. So tá a bá mú security kúrò ń bẹ̀ ó ní question kan tí mo fẹ́ béèrè pé because ìgbà kan wà mo ìkéré ńgbà yẹn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà. Ẹ dúró náà ṣé wọn Ọ̀kọ̀yà mọ́ ni?
Ṣé fẹ́ kí n dáhùn yẹn sísá?
They fought ńgbà yẹn nígbà tí wà tó ń fìyà jẹ àwọn àgbẹ̀ ńgbà yẹn they fought and they won. So ṣé ẹjọ́ ṣé wọ́n ṣì wà ṣá because I don't understand ṣé wọn Ọ̀kọ̀yà mọ́ ni?
Sísá sorry ṣé bóyá kẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ tán kí wá dáhùn.
So because kò ń ṣe àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn wa nìkan tó wáyé pé Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà ṣì wà o kò ń ṣe àwọn Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn nìkan ló yẹ ká máa pè kán dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ security. Àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà wa náà wọ́n ní tó wáyé pé wọ́n ṣì wà kán jọ̀ torí Ọlọ́run káwọn náà kán wọ́n ní tó ṣe bí òwe ẹ̀yin àgbà wọ́n ní àpéjọwọ́ la fi ń sọ̀yà ọwọ́ kan ò gbẹ́rù dórí. So àwọn kan tún máa sọ pé ògìdìmọ̀làjà awo lè fẹ́ awo ló ń gbáwo nígbọ̀nwọ́ táwo ò bá gbáwo nígbọ̀nwọ́ awo atẹ́ awo aya. Now kò yẹ kí àwọn kan máa ṣiṣẹ́ singularly bíi solo kí àwọn nǹkan tó àmọ́ pé àwọn náà lè help kán má dá sí àwọn méjèèjì. Tágbẹ̀kọ̀yà bá wà kágbẹ̀kọ̀yà kan dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn kí gbogbo wọn jọjọ ṣe ká gba ilẹ̀ wa káwọn ọmọ tiwọn náà lè ṣoríire káwọn ọmọ tiwọn náà lè move on. Because tó bá yẹ pé gbogbo wa ń wò tí okay àwa tá wà ní ibi tá wà tá à sí lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà ẹni tó wà ní Kútọ̀nù tó wà nígbà tó wà láwo mi rò pé anybody ń bẹ̀ yẹn máa sunkún pé bí ń pa òun àbí bí ń pa ọmọ òun àbóhun ò rí náà lò ẹ fún mi lómi lókè o ẹ fún mi lómi nsàlẹ̀ kò sí ń bẹ̀. So àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ yẹn they need to stand. Bí èmi àti brother mi a máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ọ̀rọ̀ pé what is it that tó bá ti pa ìyàwó èèyàn kan tó ń rape wọn náà máa pariwo wọ́n ti pa ìyàwó wọn o wọ́n ti rape wọn. Ẹ kóra yín jọ náà ẹ ń ṣe dọ́mdọ́m ẹ kóra yín jọ kẹ fọ́ọ̀mù vigilante àwọn kan á máa sùn lọ́sàn-án àwọn kan á máa sùn wọ́n wá ṣiṣẹ́ lóru. Àwọn tí wọ́n wá ń pa ìyàwó yín tó wá ń rape àwọn ọmọ yín tó rape ìyàwó yín wọn kì í ṣe alien náà ṣé bẹ́yàn náà ni wọ́n. Like nǹkan tẹ́ sọ I don't know about ìṣẹ̀ṣe bet mo mọ̀ pé wọ́n sọ pé wọ́n máa ń ro ibì kan wọ́n máa ń ṣe gbá. Tí àwọn tí ó wà ní village yẹn kán pe àwọn youth wọn kán ró wọn lágbára kán ró ìlú wọn àdúgbò wọn tó bá fẹ́ sùn ẹni ìdìọ̀tì dímọ̀ tó bá fẹ́ wá tó bá gba tiẹ̀ á lọ kú sílé wọn. Because bí nǹkan ṣe ń lọ yìí that is all what they can do. Àwọn tó bá dẹ̀ jẹ́ tó ń jẹ́ prayer warrior onísàm tán lè kà káwọn náà kàn get ara wọn sorted kóníkálukú ṣe nǹkan tó máa ṣe tí ikú òfin ní bá ìyàwó ẹ̀ tán fi ní máa rẹ́pù ìyàwó ẹ̀ lójú ẹ̀ kan tún ní kó máa fàtẹ́gùn sí wọn because this is ridiculous wọ́n á ṣètò ẹ̀ wá bọ́ sórí íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì ẹ̀ràn aláwọ̀ wọ́n ti ń pa wá wọ́n ti come on now ṣé tó wà ní Kútọ́nù ló fẹ́ wá ló máa wá ràn yín lọ́wọ́ Nàìjíríà ọmọ tó bá ṣípá nìyẹn máa ń gbé you need to ran ara ẹ lọ́wọ́ first of all so gbogbo àwọn kinní mẹ́tẹ̀ ó dà pé mo ti sọ méjì inú àbí kẹta kí ni ìkẹta ẹ má bì mo ti sọ̀rọ̀.
is a referendum provision.
Yeah, I think that is very, very important. I know that I overheard man to sọ pé kí West lọ conduct it is not kí not wá conduct it is West because tó bá ní pé kàn fi wọ́n lẹ̀ tẹ́ bá fún olórí burúkú lọ́kọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ ara ẹ̀ ló máa roko sí o kẹ́ fún wèrè lọ́kọ̀ ọ̀dọ̀ ara ẹ̀ lá roko sí so tẹ́ bá ní pé kí not ṣe not kí West ṣòwò ẹ̀ West ẹ̀ mọ̀ not now àwọn ejò tó wà nù yàrá wọn á jáde ọmọ náà ni ewúrẹ́ á jáde ọmọ ni adìyẹ á jáde wọn á kàǹtì gbogbo yẹn so a lè gẹ́ẹ̀tì fígọ̀ because kọ́ tó fi ń kó wa lómi ọbẹ̀ lọ náà nìyẹn it's very important ká mọ iye àwọn tó wà ní north àwọn tó wà ní south so that tí referendum bá fẹ́ wá a lè mọ àwọn tó dìbò lọ́dọ̀ títí wa so that a lè rọ́nà lọ so èmi believe pé it's a very good thing and it's something that we must done tá a bá fẹ́ kúrò nínú gbogbo rubbish ẹkúnlé ní ẹ̀rín lọ́la tá à ń ṣe ní Yorùbá land ẹ ṣé.
ẹ ṣé thank you very much ẹ jẹ́ kí n fi àsìkò yìí kí Pastor Raphael akínyìn bàbá and Mr. Onigemo and ẹ kú dédé wòye ẹ kú ọdún ẹ kú ìyèdún and bàbá Raphael wọ́n máa san fine pé wọ́n pẹ́ dé wọ́n máa san fine so ẹ jẹ́ kí brother wa Mọ̀chẹ́kọ̀ kí lè rí sọ sí order the order tí ẹ rò pé ó yẹ ká fi ṣe nǹkan.
Order yẹn àti sọ several times but unfortunately we believe pé security àti awareness láti gain numbers ó yẹ kán lọ in tandem because for security láti ṣiṣẹ́ you need numbers. For numbers you have to do awareness, inform people, encourage people, liberate people, liberate mind wọn ká tọ́ka wọn sí ibi tá à ń lọ ibi tá à ń bọ̀ bá ṣe máa débẹ̀ and all of that. Tí numbers bá wà ó máa promote security at least within tí o bá tẹ̀ jẹ́ pé federal government ló máa sọ̀rọ̀ security ní state level kò sí nǹkan tó sọ pé káwa náà máa push àwọn representatives wa àwọn governors wa wípé they can do better than what they're doing so it's all a matter of numbers consensus so security àti awareness enlightenment education ó yẹ kó lọ together ẹ ṣeun.
Thank you very much ẹ jẹ́ kí n sáré dá Sister Emisilo kí n tó pe màmá wa pẹ̀lú Dr. Yefule. Sister nǹkan tẹ́ sọ nípa Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà ṣe mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní nǹkan tágbà fi ń jẹun abẹ́ ewé ló ń gbé.
Yep.
And odò tó bá dẹ̀ máa gbéyàn lọ kì í ṣàn kì í pariwo wọ́n ní àgbọ̀fìfò ló ń lù wòrowòro. Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà wà wọ́n ṣe wà láyé bàbá wa títí dìsìn wọ́n ṣe wà bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ but unfortunately funding is a major issue fún wọn kò ṣe gbogbo àgbẹ̀ ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ tí àwọn tí wọ́n ṣiṣẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ ààbò láàrin Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà tí wọ́n ní ẹ̀sìn ti gba gbogbo nǹkan báyẹn lọ́wọ́ many people only the few tó kù tí wọ́n jẹ́ ẹ̀ṣọ́ Ìkòyí wọ́n ṣe ń pè wọ́n lọ́yọ̀ọ́ gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ló ní ẹ̀ṣọ́ ẹ ò rí tí wọ́n máa sọ àdúgbò kan ní òkè ẹ̀ṣọ́ bí táwọn security ń wà nìyẹn so láàrin Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà yes wọ́n ṣì wà bẹ́ẹ̀ but problem is funding kò sí bí wọ́n ní ká jẹ èkuru kó tán láwo à ń gbọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sínú ká jẹ èkuru a tún gbọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ sínú tangaran kò sí bá ṣe máa sọ̀rọ̀ security tá à ní wẹ̀yìn o. Owó tí àwọn èèyàn commit sọ́wọ́ wa tá a ti ná sí security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ mo nígbàgbọ́ pé tó bá jẹ́ gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ ló ṣe the same thing ariwo tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ security ilẹ̀ Yorùbá ò ní ṣẹlẹ̀. Láìpẹ́ láì jìnnà a ní àwọn alùpùpù tó ń pè ní motorbikes tó ń brand lọ́wọ́ we still spoke about it during the week tí wọ́n brand lọ́wọ́ and lórí ìkànnì yìí a máa show handing over ṣe mọ̀ pé wọ́n ní ìwọ̀n eku ò ní tẹ́ you cut your coat according to your size. The scripture says that if you're faithful in little, more will be given to you. Faithful, pé kéèyàn ní nǹkan kékeré. Pẹ̀lú the little resources that people have committed to us, we are helping recognized organizations and nínú àwọn bàbá àti màmá wa tán l'opportunity covertly tá ti ṣe meeting torí wọ́n ní kì í ṣe gbogbo aṣọ là ń sá lóòrùn. So mo fẹ́ fi dá yín lójú without ká máa ṣe name calling or anything wípé àwọn tí wọ́n ṣakitiyan táwọn kan tún bá àwọn agbófinró ilẹ̀ Yorùbá Nàìjíríà ṣiṣẹ́ wọ́n ṣì wà but omi pọ̀ ju ọkà lọ. Omi ó pọ̀ ju ọkà lọ. And part of the awareness that we believe we should embark on should be for our people to be proud to be who you are. Be proud. Before Samson, wípé we have Samson, tá máa ní ẹgbẹ̀rún Sáàmù, kò lè sá mọ́ Ọlọ́run lọ́wọ́. Before Samuel, á ń jẹ́ Ògúnbíyì, òrìṣàrà ìbí, èṣù gbà mí, kì í ṣèṣù oníwọ̀. Let's go back home. Ewé, egbò, àti ohùn Ẹlẹ́dàá fún ìran Yorùbá. Let's use it. Unless tọ́lọ́run ò bá mọ nǹkan tó ń ṣe. In the Bible, it says God created the light and darkness. All are before him, are the same before him. Mi ò rí nǹkan tó burú ní pé kéèyàn ṣe ògùn. At the end of the day, àwọn babaláwo pẹ̀lú àwọn oníchọ́ọ̀chì, pastors àti imam, they were like Nicodemus, they go at night to the babaláwo. They go at night. Àwọn gan gbàgbára ń bẹ̀ o. Gbọ́ olúgbòhùn. Ó wà ń bẹ̀ o. So káwọn Yorùbá sọjí. Ó ti ní bí àwọn bàbá wa ṣe ń ṣe táyé ń tùbà tó dẹ̀ ń túṣẹ before kan tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí plant mosque àti churches. Ká tún change orúkọ wa. Ìwọ tó ń jẹ́ Ògúnbíyì tó ní Jésù bíyì. No, Ògún ló bí ẹ. So we need for our people to be confident. And religion can be complementary. Because about provision tá a rí nínú Quran a máa rí the same provision nínú Bible ẹ tún rí nínú Odù Ifá. So I think it's very, very important that we cannot emphasize that strong enough. Pé káwọn èèyàn wa lè mọ̀. So ní ṣókí tó jẹ́ ọbẹ̀ oge Sister Yẹ́misí, àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà wọ́n ṣì wà ó, wọ́n dẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ lọ. Òun náà pè ní àgbà ò ní tán lórílẹ̀, àgbà ò tán lórílẹ̀ Yorùbá but a ní láti kún wọn lọ́wọ́ ká fi owó bá wọn ṣe kí wọ́n lè pọ̀ sí. Oyè ìpínlẹ̀ tá a ní a lè ká ní Yorùbá land, àmọye security, oyè nǹkan tá a lè dà síbẹ̀. Níbi tó bá yẹ ká ti ní motorbike 100, tá a bá ní 10, ẹ̀mọ̀ kó kéré, ìkọ̀ọ̀kan wọn á gbéyàn mẹ́ta sórí ẹ̀. Kò tá a bá ní 100 bike níbì kan tó gbé mẹ́ta, ẹ wo èèyàn tán lè gbé wọnú. Tán bá tiẹ̀ ní emergency tán alert tán lè yà wọ ọbẹ̀ láti dáàbò bo àwọn èèyàn wa. So ó wà bọ̀ kò tó. A ní láti fọwọ́ wẹwọ́ pẹ̀lú wọn. ó jẹ́ nǹkan tí mo fẹ́ fi dá yín lò sísá yẹn mi sí. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Ẹ jẹ́ kí torí bàbá wa máa bá a ṣe vote of thanks. Mrs. Popola Obi, ẹ bá lè yànnàná nǹkan tá a sọ, then kẹ́ give a parting statement yín. Thank you.
Ṣé gan ni, and I'll be very quick torí mo mọ̀ pé subject ní ó kún gan ni torí ẹ̀ ló ṣe take time tí I take láti answer our questions here and the debate, and I think it's been quite invigorating. Láti gbọ́ different views, and this is how we should do things in Yoruba land. Tá máa gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ oníkálukú ṣe feel, just so that I lè move ara forward with different ideas coming on board and things like that, because kò sẹ́ni tó mọ everything tán. Sherry, the sequence there set out, yeah, I think it should be examined. I wouldn't say yes, automatically is the right sequence. I think the sequence should be examined by people, because I would like to know what the pros and cons of each of those segments to my bring. Serious exam question, let's set it. And the exam question, the response cannot be yes or no. It can be let's discuss. So I think we should continue to discuss this. Agreed. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí gbogbo àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ní ti sọ earlier on, but security is paramount. Is the essence of government, to secure lives and property of the citizens. Tabamu security kúrò ńbẹ̀, ìtókù public kékeré ni. But ibi tí insecurity bá ti wà, táwọn èèyàn bá ti kú lórí ilẹ̀ wọn, that's it. That's the end of them. So obviously we need to secure that. But ìtókù, like I said, exam questions ni wọ́n. And I think the awareness, ó ṣàwọn èèyàn wa nìkan là láti educate and raise awareness with. I think we have to look at our leaders, and including our Afenifere in this. We have to talk to our obas, our gomina, our local councillors, all our leaders, in one bracket, all the leaders of Yoruba land. We have to be having discussions. I think it's time for us to come together. Gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe sọ lẹ́ǹkan yẹn, we all have the same desire. Àwọn èèyàn kan sọ pé okay, àwọn Afẹ́nifẹ́re restructuring náà wá. But ultimately, when I say we all have the same desire, the desire to live, the desire to prosper. Our Tafe self-determination, we want that. Afenifere, I'm sure they want that. How you get there is what's causing the problem for us. And it's healthy to have two fractions actually wanting something different, a different route to take. But they must agree on something. They must come together to agree that actually the protection of our sovereignty is key in all of this. And I think that agreement, we must try and strive to get that when we're raising the awareness. We agree the sovereignty of Yoruba land is what we're asking for us to have our own independence to determine how we run our lives and our affairs, and whether we want to live or die. We must be our decision. To live or to die must not be taken away from us. So for me, the awareness, yes, it has to be concurrent, it has to be simultaneous. You can't do one or the other, you have to do all of it at the same time. And when you're talking government, government has the capacity to do more than one thing at a time. Yoruba land must be able to do simultaneously series of things at the same time to get us to where we're going. Whether it's the provision in the constitution or something else. And I like, Dr. Oyefule, the way you packaged it so eloquently, where you talk about restructuring being on the left, far left, where you have force majeure and then you have referendum in the middle together with census. Because if you don't even know what numbers we're talking about, how can we start to change things? We say Yoruba land, let's prove it to them. The way we can prove it is through census. Àwọn tí wọ́n sọ pé àwọn pọ̀ jù wá lọ is because wọ́n ti kó middle belters, wọ́n ti kó wọn mọ́, wọ́n ti kó Haúsá mọ́ wọn, wọ́n ti beef up number wọn, and nobody can question them because there is no data. We must be asking for data. We must be pressing the president. You do the right thing, and we don't want it to be 6 months, a year down the line to Mafiche census. We want it to be done soonest so that we can move these debates on, so that people can live. We can stop shedding people's blood because àwọn èèyàn kú lójoojúmọ́. And may the souls of those people in Plateau, in Taraba, and everywhere to want to lose life through the hands of these people, and even the Owo massacre, may their souls rest in peace. We cannot rest on our laurels and think that we're there.
Right.
Eshegoni.
Thank you. Eshegoma. Amocheko, your parting word?
Short ni ma fi ṣe. Ojú tó rọ̀ ni Lorenzo. First one tí ma sọ nìyẹn, mi ò fẹ́ so much. Then ẹnu lẹ́sẹ̀ fi ń jẹ ojú ọ̀nà. So at the end of the day, there must be an active effort láti ṣe nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe at all levels. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ti dàbí pé ká make àdúrà pẹ̀lú real iṣẹ́ kọ́lọ̀ fún wa ṣe. Ẹ ṣeun.
Asha, thank you very much. Eshego. Sister, let me see your parting word.
My parting word ni pé kí n bẹ àwọn tí àwọn karambà ní wá ń bá tán pa. Káwọn náà má sùn, kán má jókòó tẹ̀tẹ̀rẹ̀. Like nǹkan tí brother mi sọ sólójú tó bá dilẹ̀ ní Lorenzo. Kán má sọ wọ́n di dèdèrìn pé wọ́n kàn máa lè wọlé láti báyàwó wọn sùn, bọ́mọ wọn sùn, káwọn wá di àárọ̀ kan wá máa pariwo wọ́n ń pa wá, wọ́n ń pa mí o. So káwọn náà kán meet, kán ṣe bọ́n ṣe máa ṣe ìrìn àjò wọn. Kí èmi máa tún bẹ àwọn Àgbẹ̀kọ̀yà àti Àmọ̀tẹ́kùn káwọn náà kán gbáradì pé ìlú wa gbọ́dọ̀ gbà, because kò sí bó ṣe lè rí bó ṣe wà ń sìn àti tá bá gbàlú wa ó máa yàtọ̀ síra wọn. So kò ní sí pé èèyàn kan ń tọrọ owó lọ́wọ́ èèyàn kan àbí ebi ń pa wọ́n. Mo dẹ̀ tún máa sọ pé ká wá àwọn tó máa lọ rí bàbá wa Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu nípa ọ̀rọ̀ constitution yẹn. So gbogbo àwọn tí ò tí ì dá sí ọ̀rọ̀ Yorùbá land, Yorùbá nation, kàn dá sí, because àwọn Èkìtì máa ń pòwe pé ojú ló ń kán talẹ̀ lójú, tó bá dalẹ̀ àdó ló ń jẹ. Nǹkan tó rò pé kò lè ṣeé ṣe pẹ̀lú ìrànlọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run ó máa ṣeé ṣe. Tó wáyé pé bí náà yẹn ṣe ń jó ńgbà tá a kọ́kọ́ bẹ̀rẹ̀ ló sì ń jó ni àti débì kan. So everybody náà ká fi ọwọ́ wọ ọwọ́ ọ̀tún, ọwọ́ ọ̀tún òsì wọ òsì. So kí gbogbo ẹ̀ lè dáa. Ẹ ṣeun.
Eshego, Sister Yemisi, thank you so much. Dr. Yefule, over to you.
Èwo ni mò ń ṣe ń bẹ̀, Barrister?
Your parting word.
Oh, my parting word, okay.
Thank you, sir.
Ẹ ṣé. Just about 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes ago, ó tiẹ̀ tí lè jù yẹn lọ, a sọ pé ìlú fẹ́ràn I think we said in so many words. The nation loves to.
ìlú sọ pé ìlú ló fẹ́ rán wọn níṣẹ́. Ìlú ló fẹ́ rán wọn níṣẹ́.
Let me tell you, àwọn tó ń kọ constitution wa ó apply sí wọn. They love their own people. They want their own people to take over the rest of the country. But if we want that, if they want that, Omawa at the detriment of other people. So they love their people. They made a constitution to help our young out. Either pé kán parọ́ census ni o, or kán ṣe ti bí o, kán ṣe tọ̀hún. Wọ́n ṣàṣe gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀rọ yẹn, including using the Muslim word for Elédùmarè, inserting it in the constitution, and the concept about 23 times canonical word in the constitution, ni more. So, lára àwọn tactics, àwọn strategy wọn nìyẹn, láti to demonstrate pé wọ́n love àwọn èèyàn wọn. But ẹ má jẹ́ àgbàgbé o, nǹkan táwọn èèyàn wọn táwọn nípa wọn love kò include àwa táwa ń South o. Àwọn èèyàn wọn tó love ni àwọn tó wà ní Ghana, tó wà ní Burkina Faso, tó wà Mali, tó wà ní Niger. Àwọn stock tó wá láti Futajalon, they love them first. Àwọn tàdé tí Lord Lugard ti sọ wá di Nigeria pẹ̀lú wọn, they have no interest in us other than cheating us. Nǹkan tó dẹ̀ ti ń ṣe látijọ́ yìí nìyẹn. So yes, constitution was done to support the people, but who are the people? Definitely not me or you. So we must keep that in mind. Rather, I mean, they're doing something that's natural among selfish people. In the lead. Not only is he going to look out for himself, he's going to look out for the remaining 9 people. But winner take all. So that we must keep in mind. Taba, keep it in mind. Taba, make it a part of our awareness training to people. We are going nowhere. And this is not a little tribalistic, anti-one group or the other. No, this is pro-Yorubaness. Why are we where we are? But our Lani University graduates Jew. Our no recognized overseas Jew. Nigerians are the most educated subgroup in the United States. Fulani, Yoruba ni gbogbo wọn sọ. Ìgbà tó declare Atlanta Nigerian American Day nítorí that young boy Davido was given the key to the city and it was declared Davido's Day. Yoruba's aspect of it ni gbogbo wọn sọ. Doctors sport in South Africa to get Nigerians. Look at the bulletin board. Then why then are we treated as subjugated people in Yoruba land, in Nigeria? At least 1840, or they're in Loti defeat to Olosogbo. Why do they have the audacity to go back around the corner? Subjugate to 1840. Why are we allowing them to do that? Lack of awareness. Lack of awareness. And when you all link together, àbúrò mi máa ń sọ fún mi pé ẹ̀gbọ́n mi history tẹ́ ẹ sọ history ò pọ̀ jù báyìí. Mo ní history ò lè ever pọ̀ jù láyé. Because unless you understand where you're coming from, you would know where you are. And if you don't know where in hell you are, you cannot go forward. You've got to understand. So you know awareness here, I'm going to be in many ways. Many ways. kí ni rationale wọn tó fẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ sí fọ́ọ̀mù Yoruba Fulani people ní Yoruba land or Fulani Yoruba ní Yoruba land tó ń pay àwọn ọmọ ní 5,000 naira ní iye wa tó wọn bá wọn sùn kó bá lè bí ọmọ Fulani. Why? Kí ni rationale behind it? We need to explain that to our people. Àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ ní kí ni ẹ pé life pé wọ́n ní university training náà tí o àìlè ní foresight àìlè ní àròjinlẹ̀ pọ̀ láàrin wa. We must know that. Well, because all of us need the same awareness. So our job is now to put this little awareness into our people. Unless we do that, we're just wasting our time. By 8 years from now, 7.5 years from now, we've got to go back and re-steer our car and get off this stinking road we've been on, get on another road, and just keep on going forward.
Thank you very much. Eshe Gonsa, thank you very much. Adupalowo gbogbo yín pátápátá. Àjíǹde ara máa jẹ́ o. Ọlọ́run á máa fún yín ní ọgbọ́n ìmọ̀ àti òye tẹ́ máa fi tu ọkọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Yorùbá, at least lórí ìkànnì yìí. Àjíǹde ara máa jẹ́ okun inú ẹ máa fi gbé títà o. Àṣẹ Mr. Kọ́ládé. Mr. Kọ́ládé, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ní àsìkò yìí àwọn tó bá ní ìbéèrè ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní nawọ́ sókè o. A kì í ṣe rédíò àsọ̀rọ̀ má gbèsè ọ̀rọ̀. Tẹ́ bá ní ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ maybe the Global Directorate Secretariat or lọ́wọ́ àwọn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ nawọ́ sókè o. Anybody tẹ́ ti jókòó látàárọ̀. I was told that the silent observers are the best judges of issues. So if you have any issues that you want to raise, ìbéèrè kan fẹ́ nìkan. Tó bá jẹ́ méjì ẹ papọ̀. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa ká ní bí a ṣe contribute sí ìpàdé ẹni. Tá bá ti dúró for few minutes tí ò bá ti sẹ́ni tó nawọ́. A rò kó dàbí ẹni pé gbogbo wa orí ọwọ́ kan náà la wà pé I agree pẹ̀lú gbogbo nǹkan tí a ti sọ ń bí lẹ́yìn nìyẹn. So if you have any question, please raise up your hand. Ẹni tó bá ní ìbéèrè ẹ nawọ́ ẹ̀rọ ní sókè. Ẹ ṣé. Ṣé kò sí ẹni tó ní ìbéèrè? Thank you. Thank you. Ẹ ṣé gan. Mr. Nigemo, thank you. Mrs. Ambassador Tokunbolu Jadu. Ẹ ṣé gan. Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́. Ẹ kú ọ̀rọ̀ ènìyàn. Ọjọ́ á jìnnà síra wọn lágbára Èdùmàrè. Ọlọ́run á tù yín nínú.
Àmín, àmín, ẹ ṣé àdúpẹ́. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Dr. Yefule, ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ bá wa dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ àwọn èèyàn wa. Vote of thanks.
Sure. Well, ẹ ṣé gan ni o gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ wá. And I'm saying this with a deep, deep sense of humility and gratitude. Àwọn tó ń sọ̀rọ̀ àti àwọn tó ń type lórí chat wọ́n ti give a lot of themselves. Our and listen now, we've given a lot of ourselves. Because as we very well know, on Saturday morning here in the US or Saturday afternoon in the UK, there are many other things, say other than the Gotanshi, but we choose to be here. I do me personally do directorate and the meeting was a very good one. Discussion was excellent. Thank you.
Ashe, thank you very much, sir. Ashe, life your talk pọ̀lọpọ̀lọ péjọ. Ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ orin orílẹ̀-èdè wa tó máa tún ní arìnrìn dáadáa tá a bá ti gba ìlú wa. lágbára Ọlọ́run ó dá mi lójú wípé gbogbo wa pátápátá ó máa ṣojú ẹ̀mí wa àwọn èèyàn wa tí ìrẹ̀wẹ̀sì mú àdìmúlẹ̀ Ọlọ́run á sọ agbára wọn di ọ̀tun á sọ agbára wọn dọ̀tun wọ́n á rí ìdí tó ṣe pàtàkì káwọn commit the same time à ń ṣiṣẹ́ a dẹ̀ ń jẹun a dẹ̀ ń san bill during the struggle iṣẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ di wa lọ́wọ́ láti tún ṣe léyìí mọ́ ìfarasin la pè Ọlọ́run á fún wa ní oore ọ̀fẹ́ pé stronger than how we did it bá a tún ṣe máa ṣe nìyẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká kọrin orílẹ̀-èdè wa. Thank you very much. Ẹ ṣé Dr. Ifule.
Of the newly formed Ududuwa Nation.
Ìwọ àti èmi ni ìmọ́lẹ̀ o adúláwọ̀ ìmọ́lẹ̀ wa ní dòkùnkùn.
Ẹ ṣé Èdùmàrè.
Ẹ ṣé gan.
ẹlẹ́yàmí o. wọ́n ń retí ẹlẹ́yàmí o lójoojúmọ́. wọ́n ti kóra wọn jọ o láti pẹ̀gàn mi. wọ́n ní mi ò mọ̀júlé àdúrà lójoojúmọ́. lórí mi lọ́nà ilé àdúrà wọn máa pẹ̀gàn mi. wọ́n á lọ tún ti ń lọ.